Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's stream. We do have a few more people joining us. They're just having some technical issues right now.
Excuse me.
But we'll be having, oh, there's Ryan right there. So, of course, we have me. We have Ryan and Brian in the top right-hand corner. If you guys want to plug your Instagram handles.
R_friend.
I am Brian Gray, LBI 0814.
And for Facebook, that's Ace Car.
And, of course, we have Ace. We'll also be having Tom and John join us soon. Brian, do you think you could turn your camera sideways just so we could see Ryan in it? Or landscape so that it fills the whole screen?
Okay.
Perfect. All right. So, for those of you who don't know, I was at Great Adventure today. Was able to get on a few rides, hang out with everyone here except for Ace. Ace didn't go. But Brian, Ryan, and Tom all went. It was a great day. And I imagine you guys have a lot of questions about Great Adventure 2024. So ask away. We'll get to them soon. And, of course, the whole reason I'm doing this stream is because we hit 9,000 subscribers. I really want to thank you guys a lot. The growth lately has been absolutely insane, really, really fast. And it's probably just going to keep continuing with all the 2024 stuff going on for Great Adventure. So hope you guys are enjoying the coverage. I know it's a lot of videos being pumped out, but I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the most up-to-date information and all that. So I really do appreciate all the support. So first, I'm just going to start with everyone here in the stream. I want to know what you guys think the coaster is going to be, what you think the theme is going to be, what else you think they're doing for 2024. We'll start with Brian, then go to Ryan, and end with Ace.
I think it's going to be probably the Flash, as everyone in the stream thinks. That's
Hang on. Sorry to interject, but we got a super chat. Thank you, PoolGamer17, for the super chat. Ace, do you have the horn ready to go? There it is. I'm 99.9% sure this will be a Vekoma and will be themed to Flash. Let's hope they don't mess this up, LOL. Also, congrats on 9K. Well, thank you. And yeah, I do agree. I'm going to let the other guys finish up first before I share my thoughts. But Brian, you were saying?
I was thinking maybe the Flash, as everyone thinks. That's
Ryan.
Yeah.
No, other Ryan with an R.
Yeah, right.
Well, with all the merchandise that's slowly coming out of Flash, you see all that stuff, all the shirts now. It's like it's now starting to catch on. Like, okay, it is honestly gonna be Flash.
Ace.
Yeah, I concur. Flash, Super Boomerang.
So I'll give, I guess, more in-depth thoughts here. I definitely think it's going to be a Vekoma Super Boomerang. I'd be very surprised if the park was doing this big elaborate teaser campaign that perfectly aligns with a Super Boomerang. I mean, for it to be something else, I'd be really surprised. And the Flash just seems like the most likely theming option to go with. They teased, of course, with all those different superhero names that I'm sure you all saw. The one that seems pretty obvious that was missing is the Flash, since he is a member of the Justice League. Could be Supergirl. Supergirl, I guess, technically is in Justice League, the ride. But I think Flash would be a lot more marketable. I do wish, or at least I hope, that we could see something different. Of course, this ride, if it does wind up being a Super Boomerang, is very reminiscent of Batman and Robin the Chiller. Of course, not dueling, but there's certain elements on that ride, the Super Boomerang, that are very similar to the Chiller. So I think some theme that would pay homage to that ride would be great. Whether they call it Robin, whether they call it Mr. Freeze, I think either of those would be great to pay homage. So I'm sure if it is called Flash, they'll do a great job theming it. And if they do Flash, one thing they have to do is on that spike support, that big circular column in the middle, they better put a giant lightning bolt on that spike because that would look sick, especially at night. But in terms of other things for 2024, the coaster is definitely not the only thing happening. In fact, that was a last-minute addition. They had so many other things planned prior to this coaster being brought into the whole planning situation. So I think, well, it's a combination of rumors, things we know. For starters, we have the log flume, which obviously is going to be getting an extensive refurbishment. The park has been teasing a lot with log flume, and I think it'd be really cool to see it go back to its original color scheme, which was red, and to just see a lot of the Frontier Adventures original opening day things restored, considering it is going to be the 50th anniversary. And I also think Big Wheel is definitely in store for a major renovation. Long overdue, if you ask me. I think we're going to see a fresh light package on the attraction, which could go two ways. It could be something crazy like what we have at Maury's Piers in Wildwood, which is just crazy LED lights everywhere, lighting up the entire area. It looks great. Or they could go with something a little more classic, very similar to what it has now, but just with a little more flair. And I do think it's going to get a repaint as well. So I think overall that ride's going to get a lot of TLC. And I've said this in numerous videos past, but the paintball building right next to the arcade that we use as the cut through to El Toro, that is gone next year. That will be taken out, which is great because the arcade, which we saw today, is sometimes locked and you can't get through. So it's kind of a pain to either walk down the lakefront or walk through the boardwalk. So to have that will be really, really cool. I think it's also safe to assume we're going to see some bricks come to the park. When I say bricks, I mean bricks you can purchase and write your own custom engraving on, and then they put them in the park. They did this at Cedar Point for their 150th anniversary, Fiesta Texas for their recent anniversary, and Indiana Beach for their reopening. So I definitely think Great Adventure is going to go that route. So stay tuned for details on that, because I think they're probably going to have the ordering process sometime in late 2023 to do that, which is going to be really, really cool. From there, I think that there's definitely going to be something done at the entrance. Of course, there's markers not only in the catering area and Metropolis area, but also pushing out into the entrance. So I don't think the coaster is going to go over the entrance, given that it is a Super Boomerang. All we know about the coaster is what the park has teased. I don't know any other details other than that, though I can assume that it's going to go in that straight line path, so it's probably going to be the Boomerang. But those markers outside, in the entrance area, I think that's going to lead to some sort of a refurbishment to the entrance plaza. I think the ticket booths really are not needed anymore. You're just going to buy everything online. They could have different booths set up if you really need to buy something at the park, but I do think it'd be great to see the turnstiles refurbished. They obviously started in 22 with that brand new security entrance, and I think from there we're just going to see more. I do think in general there's going to be a lot of different things alluding to the park's past. I definitely think we could see a new museum, which was at the park, I think, for the 45th or 40th. I think it was the 40th anniversary of the park. That was run by Great Adventure History. I'm not sure if they're coming back for one this year or next year, I should say, but I think that'd be really cool. And overall, I just think the park's going to pay a lot of homage to the history and really take a look back at past attractions. That's why I think it'd be really cool to see the new coaster themed to Chiller. I think that would just be a great move. Something else I think would be really cool for the park to do is to put signs up of where former attractions used to be. So like on El Toro's entrance sign, you could put Ultra Twister and Viper's logos with El Toro. And then over where Rolling Thunder was, you could have the Rolling Thunder logo and the El Diablo logo. I think that would be something really, really cool to see. And I'm sure there's going to be tons of different events throughout the year, mainly a big celebration throughout the summer for the 50th anniversary. I believe July 1st was the first day it was soft opened, and then July 4th was the first day it opened to the public back in 74. So I definitely think we'll see big things coming in that time frame around 4th of July to celebrate the park's history. But overall, next year is definitely going to be one of the best years to visit Great Adventure. You have a brand new coaster coming in on top of tons of park improvements and other things of that nature. It's going to be an absolutely amazing year. But I want to hear what you guys think is going to come to the park for 2024, because it's definitely going to be a big year. So what do you guys think? I know you guys didn't really mention anything other than the coaster. What do you think the park's doing outside the coaster?
Like you mentioned, like a big celebration to celebrate 50 years of Great Adventure, like look back at past attractions. I'm really hoping they do like a replica poster map of the first year. That'd be really cool to have and see like old past attractions, like okay, wow, that used to be in that spot, and wow, there's no Nitro, no El Toro, no Kingda Ka, etc. And see how much the park has evolved in 50 years is just incredible.
Yeah, I have to echo what Ryan says. I completely agree. And it'd be pretty cool to see all that.
Well, of course, the log flume being restored, Nitro repainted, events, and a new front gate at the entrance. So that's what I could see, and fireworks too for the 50th anniversary.
Oh, of course. What I'm doing right now, I see a lot of you guys in the chat just looking through here are asking what a Vekoma Super Boomerang is. So for those of you who haven't seen the videos of it, I'm just going to share real quick Vekoma's video of the model. And I know a lot of people are worried about this ride. I think capacity will definitely be an issue. There's no doubt about it, because Great Adventure is a huge park, and presumably this ride's not going to have a turntable. So if it doesn't have a turntable, that means one train operations, which is definitely going to be a bit rough for that park. So we'll just have to play it by ear with that. It's not guaranteed that it's not going to have the turntable. I think it'd be great if it did, but this is possibly, it's not confirmed until the park says it, this is possibly what we are looking at for Great Adventure next year, which I think looks like an awesome ride. I mean, sure, it could run a little faster through the layout maybe, but I think overall it's going to be a really, really cool ride, and it's huge because this is the first time Vekoma is breaking their way into the United States with their new gen thrill coaster model, and it's going to be a big year for Vekoma in general. They have 2 family boomerangs coming to pretty substantial parks in Holiday World and Kings Island, and if, of course, we're correct in assuming this will be coming to Great Adventure, which is huge. This ride really, really looks great. And this right here is what reminds me of Chiller. You have that 0G roll going up into the spike, which I think is just absolutely awesome. But I want to know what you guys think about this ride. I know, like I said, a lot of people don't seem too happy about the idea of Great Adventure getting this. I do think, though, that it will be a good ride. It'll be a good fit for the park. We don't have a shuttle coaster, and shuttle coasters have been a big part of the park's history. You had Chiller and Lightning Loops. Plus, we don't have a multi-launch coaster. The only launch coaster in the park is King Ka, and King Ka is something, that's for sure. It's not for everybody. This, not necessarily for everybody either, but much more of a broad audience than something like King Ka. But that's the Vekoma Super Boomerang. For those of you who didn't know what it is, there you go. It looks like we might have Tom, might not. We'll see if his loading thing there ends. So until we get Tom and John on the stream, I'm going to start going through all of your chat questions. So feel free to send them all in. I'm going to be going from top to bottom, unless, of course, the super chat pops up. Then I'll skip to the super chat and then continue where I was on the list. So without further ado, Colin, what is your favorite roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure? I think all of us have the same answer, which is, where am I pointing? Over there. There you go. Yeah. El Toro, of course. Nothing compares, if you ask me. Devil's good, Ka's good, Nitro's good, but they're not as good as El Toro, at least in my opinion. I've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of questions tonight about the Great Adventure 20. Yep, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of questions about that too. Let's see here. Lots of stuff before the stream started. Let's see. Lots of people talking about how dead Great Adventure was tonight. Great to hear. Glad you guys got El Toro ERT, basically. Hi, Hollywood. I'm going to Hershey tomorrow. I was wondering what your 3 favorite personal rides are. I should go on first. Well, the rides you should go on first are definitely different than my favorite rides. My 3 favorite rides there, definitely Wildcats Revenge and Skyrush. And then from there, it's kind of a toss-up between Candemonium and Stormrunner. Both are really good rides. If you are looking for rides you should go on first, you're not stuck in a giant line, you have to hit Fahrenheit and Laugh Track as early as you possibly can in the day. They have really small trains and terrible capacity, so their lines fill up really quick. Wildcat, Skyrush, Candemonium, Stormrunner, all of them, they have pretty good capacities. You're still gonna wait in a line, but nothing as bad as Laugh Track and Fahrenheit. And if you're interested in Wild Mouse, you could probably hit that too. That has pretty bad capacity too, so you could have issues there as well. Thank you everyone in the chat for saying congratulations. Let's see here. I love the Santa Beach Boardwalk. Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, in my opinion, is probably the best boardwalk park out there, even better than the ones we have on the East Coast. It really is just one of the nicest boardwalks I've ever been to, and you barely even have wood boards there, so it doesn't feel like a boardwalk. But everything is really close together, but it doesn't feel on top of itself. It's a very clean place. If you're going to NorCal, definitely stop at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Do you think all these Great Adventure teasers are real, or are they trying to fool us? I think they could be trying to fool us. I think it'd be pretty funny if it was just something completely different than what we're all predicting. But I also don't think they would have put all of these very specific pieces of a puzzle together if it wasn't real. At least that's what I think. What do you guys think?
They could be messing with us and say, oh, we're really getting someone else. And we want you to believe that we're getting this Vekoma. But surprise,
Right. Yeah, I think they
Oh,
could be
maybe.
throwing.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yes.
Well, maybe.
Let's go.
There's Tom.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
wow.
You can imagine which expletive I'm going to put in here, but that to Xfinity, it might save you money. You might get it to save money, but you will get what you pay for. And I will leave it at that. Do not waste your time with Xfinity. But hi.
What's up?
So,
Now-
Tom, now that you're here, hang on, Ace. Put a pin in that for a second. Tom, I want to hear your full 2024 predictions for Great Adventure, from the coaster to events to everything you think the park's going to do.
Wow. So Vekoma Boomerang, right? That new thing is that I haven't had time to really look into. I think you're gonna see Throwathon come back. Holiday in the Park, I think, will stay.
Yeah.
Obviously the coaster's gonna go in Metropolis. Take your pick for which hero theme it could be, or villain. But it's obvious that's what's happening. And I think we're going to have to wait a year, but I think even next year we'll get an announcement for another coaster, and that's when you will see the arena start to be demolished.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that whole next year, 2025 thing later on in the stream. I did see a question about it later on, so we'll get to that when we get there. So let's see, where were we in the questions? Here we go. 2 questions. All right, well, I'm going to try to decipher this. We used to do Discord, but don't really do it anymore, and I don't plan on doing it again. And legacy memberships, if that's what you're asking about, are not sold anymore, but they're still valid. That's how all of us, I'm pretty sure all of us, have our Diamond Elites or whatever we have. You can't buy those anymore, but they're still valid. They're grandfathered in as long as you keep paying for
I
them.
think he means like memberships with Hollywood Studios. No, like I'm not even kidding the way that reads. It sounds like, will there be a Discord for your channel and also memberships for your channel?
Well, if you're asking memberships for the channel, I mean, maybe if people want them. I don't really see it personally in the near future, but we'll see if there's a demand for it. And no Discord anytime soon. So, yeah.
Oh,
Do you all think Great Adventure will actually invest in a Super Boomerang for 2024? All right. So when you listen close enough to what Gary Mick, the CFO of Six Flags, said on the call, he flat out said it was pretty late in the game and it usually takes a while to design and build a coaster. I know a lot of people are looking into the whole design part of that. When he says design, that doesn't mean design the layout. That also means designing the entire area around it. You're not just going to plop a coaster down and then pour concrete willy-nilly and call it a day. You have to plan the theme. You have to design the way your plaza is going to flow, the queue. So it's not just the coaster layout that's getting designed. So I definitely think that the fact that it's last minute is that it's an off-the-shelf model. They probably knew that people were expecting something big for the anniversary, and they had the opportunity to get something pretty good for the park. So they're doing it. I think a Super Boomerang is absolutely better than nothing. And like Tom said, that's not the only thing we have to look forward to in the near future, which we'll talk about a little later. And Flash, I mean, it's probably going to be themed to Flash. I think it'd be stupid if it wasn't themed to a DC Comics character just because of where it's going to be located. That'd be like having Bizarro where it was. It's the same thing as if you were to have a unique theme in the middle of a DC area. It just doesn't make sense. Definitely a lot of people thinking it's named Flash. Yo, Ace, what's up? I haven't seen you in forever, says SN.
Oh, okay.
David says, Ace is so valid. I had an Ace sighting by Jersey Devil not too long ago. Lots of Ace sightings. Let's see. I think this new coaster may be top 5 in the park. Now, of course, I don't want to make, I don't want to jump to conclusions or anything, but I definitely think it probably could be top 5 in the park. I mean, you have the big 4, and then from there, there's, in my opinion, a pretty decent-sized drop-off. You have Batman, you have Green Lantern, Medusa, Joker, Superman. So I definitely think it's going to be better than the B&Ms of the park, personally. So I could see it being top 5 in the park, personally. Flash theme, next-gen Boomerang won't be too bad. In fact, I think it'd be great. It's filling a gap the park is missing, and for all the people saying, oh, it should have been a Giga, For starters, you're not going to plan a Giga with just maybe a year. We don't know the exact timeline, but with that short amount of time in, planning, you're not going to put a Giga together that quickly. I think that's something that'll happen in the future. And quite honestly, I don't think Great Adventure really needs a Giga coaster. It'd be nice if it happened, but I don't think it really is needed as much as this is. A multi-launch coaster or shuttle coaster, I think they're both great gaps to fill, and that's what this coaster will do. SN says, yo, Ace, I love your LED lights. Ace, aren't those Christmas lights?
LED lights, basic lights. Yeah.
I think a clone of Iron Menace. Now that would be something. It's not happening, but that would be pretty funny. Theming it to the chiller is the only way to go, in my opinion. I agree, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Do you think it's a bad idea capacity-wise, though? I know Great Adventures had more dead days recently, but wouldn't it be miserable on anything resembling a busy day? I do think that the capacity will be an issue. I think that unless they do a turntable, which I don't really think is going to happen, you're going to be waiting in long lines for it. I mean, granted, you look at a ride like Joker. Joker really doesn't have great capacity either. So that's just kind of how it is. Not all coasters are going to have good capacity. And as of late, a lot of manufacturers really haven't been producing super high capacity rides, at least from what I've noticed. I think that they tend to be focusing more on things like what RMC is doing with all these aggressive elements, but they're kind of forgetting about the fact that 20 years ago, we were building coasters that had way better capacity and still have the best capacity in the park. You look at Nitro, Great Adventure, Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England. There's a ton of these older rides that they're maybe not that old, but when you look at it from today's standpoint, that's 20 years ago these rides were built. They were definitely more focused on capacity. Nowadays, not so much, and I really can't say why. If you look at the map of footers, they're just in the wrong formation to be a super boomerang. There's the markers in the area of the entrance going parallel down towards Joker and towards catering. So that's where I kind of have issues with the whole idea of it being super boomerang. However, I do know that core samples were done in certain areas in the Metropolis and catering area, and they go in a straight line. You're not doing core samples unless you're going into the ground with the foundation, which of course is what needs to be done for the super boomerang. So we have to play it by ear, of course. I think the announcement is going to be very soon from what I understand, probably before the end of August.
Wow.
So we're going to have to wait and see what happens there. So of course, as soon as I find out the exact announcement date, I'll let you all know. But that's what we're looking at right now. And soon enough, we'll all be able to stop debating about it and finally know what it really is. Excited to see a Vekoma Super Boomerang in North America. The Flash theme is curious considering the character is kind of at a low point in terms of reputation and popularity nowadays. That's what I said to myself too, but take a look at Green Lantern in 2011. They kind of shot themselves in the foot there too. 2017, all the Justice League rides that were promoted with the Justice League movie kind of shot themselves in the foot there too. So Six Flags kind of has a history of tying in with really bad DC movies. Again, Batman and Robin, the Chiller. That was a horrible movie.
Or you look at 2008 with The Dark Knight. Great movie, terrible ride. Both can't be good.
Well, it wasn't terrible at first.
Well, yeah. But you get my point.
For the scale of the movie, it should have been like a giant coaster, not a little wild mouse.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big Wheel would look sick with new lights. I agree. It'll definitely look great.
Yeah.
Do you think Great Adventure will do power hours again? I definitely think Great Adventure will do power hours again. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2023, but we had brought it up with
That'd
Brian.
be good.
We were talking with him, and he's definitely interested in bringing the event back. So I think we could probably see it return next year. I'm seeing people ask questions in the chat about how you get your message on the screen. I'm going down the list in chronological order of when they were sent. So eventually I will get to your message and it'll appear on the screen. Ace, do you know about the Ace spotting account? I guess, the Ace spotting account is when people spot Ace and they send it to whoever runs the account and the account posts the picture. Typically like stuff in my videos, but that's what that is, I guess. I have seen it though. Nitro repaint, I think that's definitely on the table, which is weird because you think we would have heard about it by now. But last year at Thrillathon, John Winkler, who was the former park president of Great Adventure, told us that Nitro was getting a repaint and that it was getting a new color scheme. We saw that with the trains, so I'd be really surprised if they pulled the plug on the track and supports being repainted and they just repainted the trains. I think that'd be kind of weird, but it's probably going to happen, and I don't think it's going to be the only one that gets repainted next year. Do you think when this new coaster gets added, they'll add more theming to the Metropolis area of the park? I think that they're going to combine Movie Town and Metropolis to be one big DC universe and have it be two subsections with Gotham City by Batman and Dark Knight and Metropolis up by Wonder Woman through Justice League and the new coaster. I think that just makes the most sense and would probably make the area feel a little more cohesive because Movie Town just makes no sense anymore. It's just Batman land. And then you have Metropolis with all the different Justice League characters. So definitely weird to have Metropolis have no Superman themed ride in it, but Superman's on the boardwalk. It's kind of hard to fix that issue, though. I think every attraction they pointed out in one of their earlier teasers is going to go through some massive renovations. I agree. Definitely agree.
If that was a teaser, I don't know. People are reading into it as a teaser, but to me, it's just like, oh, these are the existing rides from our opening, which still exist. But that's actually a good point.
True. They should really do the back of Medusa's sign. It's a big eyesore. So Medusa, I think that there was probably more they wanted to do with the retheme, and they just weren't able to, whether it be because of budgetary reasons or other things. For example, the horse, if you guys saw my Thrillathon vlog, the horse that used to be the sideways horse on Bizarro's building is now just sitting behind that green fence over behind Medusa, which I think is kind of sad. I think it'd be cool to see them bring it back out. And the photo building, I'm surprised that's still there because photos are not coming back to that ride anytime soon, as far as I know. So I figured they would have just demolished the building because it's not really in the best of shape, but they just kind of painted over it. And overall, I think Medusa kind of just looks like Nickelodeon the ride with the bright orange and green. But I do agree that the back of Medusa's sign, it would be nice to see it touched up a little bit maybe or given some theming. Though I do welcome the return of Medusa. I would take that any day with a Western theme over having Bizarro randomly in the back of the park like that. What do you think they have in store for the log flume, possibly a change in layout? I think they're going to do a giant refurbishment on it that will make it more reliable overall, which I think is definitely needed. A lot of their older attractions are starting to have trouble finding parts for just because they're so old and not being produced anymore. And I do think it'll probably get a retheme, well, not retheme, a repaint rather. And I do think we could see that drop in the middle of the ride return. At least I hope we could. I think that'd be pretty cool. Let's see. How much would the brick cost? I don't know.
What did Cedar Point's cost?
I want to say 150, but I don't
bad.
think that's how much it was. I think it was more like 50. It's really not that expensive, all things considered. And it's crowdfunded paving. So there you go.
That too.
Let's see. Why is the park teasing that something is missing from the entrance, though? Personally, I think we're going to see the original hot air balloon return in some form, which had the lion on it. It was basically the original Great Adventure logo. And I think it'd be really cool to see that plopped right in the middle of the entrance plaza, just past security, so that you see it ballooning up over the new security entrance. I think that would look excellent. CED stands for, at least more than likely stands for, Collier's Engineering and Design, who is the company that has done work, or at least engineering and design work, for numerous Great Adventure attractions. So they're probably on board for this project too.
Also, Capitant's electronic disc was a predecessor to Laserdisc. So who knows? Maybe we're seeing something like that.
Do you think St. Louis will get a replacement for their Excalibur ride next year? I think they're going to get a package of flat rides, so I don't know if that could replace Excalibur. I guess we'll have to see, but I'm not too sure. But honestly, I do know that they have confirmed that they are getting new rides in 2024, in addition to Rookie Racer actually opening this year because it did finish track work. Let's see. I've seen some double messages here. What would you say? How likely is it that Great Adventure is getting a Super Boomerang? Would you bet on this design for 100%? I'm not 100% certain on anything until the park announces it. I'd say I'm like 90% sure it's going to be a Super Boomerang. Everything lines up just perfectly well. And we know it can't be some big, giant custom coaster just because they didn't have enough time to do that. So getting an off-the-shelf model, that's also still exciting. I think that's probably what's going to happen. What do you guys think? What would you say your
Yeah,
percentage belief is?
I think that as we alluded to when I got cut up. I'm not going to say 100%, and I'm going to tie this in with the old answer I was supposed to answer. I believe that there's a possibility. Who knows? I'm going to be cautiously optimistic on this one that it could be an intimate blitz, but of course, most likely it's going to be 75% plus Vekoma Boomerang.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I agree.
I agree with the Vekoma Super Boomerang.
The point that makes it easy for me to agree with is that it's an off-the-shelf model, and if it really was this last minute, it's got to be like you don't just throw together something huge just because you found some extra money lying around. I'd look to 2025 for something more like that.
And I do want to make it clear that the one number we still haven't been able to piece together is 587. A lot of people thought 587 hours until the announcement, which would put it on September 4th, Labor Day. But like I said, from what I'm hearing, that is not going to be the day of the announcement. It's going to be before that. So that number is still a wild card and could definitely change up what our predictions are for the park. What do you think will happen first at Six Flags America? Roar getting the RMC treatment or a new ground-up coaster? I'm going to say a new ground-up coaster because Six Flags hasn't worked with RMC in quite a few years now, at least in terms of hybrids. So I think they're more likely to maybe get a Piscetti Bowl or maybe a Vekoma, something like that before they get the RMC treatment on Roar. What do you think, Ace? Ace, what do you think?
Yeah. More likely a ground-up coaster, not non-RMC, because like you alluded to, RMC hasn't dealt with Six Flags in a long time.
Yeah, I agree that their ground-up coaster wouldn't be anything remarkable. It would be a Piscetti or something small scale, but it'd be something new, which that park deserves anyway. So hopefully that happens.
Yeah. And they got all
Ryan,
that space out.
What was that? Ace, what was that? Ace, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
Oh, what did you say before? I didn't hear you.
I was saying they have all that space.
They do. They have a lot of space right next
And
to
they're most likely going to get rid of the SLC.
Yeah, probably.
They're going to tear down the SLC.
I'd agree with that. Ryan and Brian, what do you guys think?
I think it might be something ground up, but nothing like extraordinary, like big or insane like we usually get. But because they need something new, because they haven't got anything new since Batwing, and it's been a long time for that park, and it's about time the company shows some love towards that park again.
Yeah, I think something ground up, like not anything big or like gigantic.
Yeah, probably. Let's see. This is Bob's prediction for 2024. A statue of Ace on horseback pointing a sword at the sun in the main plaza before you enter.
Oh,
Would you like to see that,
wow.
Ace?
I haven't. Listen, I haven't horseback rode since my graduating year of junior high school. And to be exact, that was so many years ago. 1994.
I'm pretty sure it's been before
that was
most
years
of
ago.
Colin's subscribers were alive.
Probably.
Jesus Christ. That's almost 30 years ago.
That's as old as Chiller.
Wow.
If we don't get that statue, it'll probably be a statue of Ace.
That's as old as Batman. That's as old as Batman. Wow.
It'll be a statue of Ace rolling a rock up a coaster hill to signify his endless task of getting credits.
They could just add on to the horseshoe Medusa and put Ace on top of it. Next up, Kings Island had specialty desserts and food items named after defunct/iconic attractions for their 50th. It would be cool to see other parks do that too. I think Great Adventure definitely has a huge opportunity because they have one of the most rich histories of any park out there. More defunct coasters than I think almost any park out there. I mean, the list is just unbelievable of defunct rides there. And they have a ton of rides too. So
this was is an idea that I've been talking about since we visited Kings Island that year, and I would love Great Adventure to do this. I'd also like to point out that everyone laughed at me for getting the King Cobra sushi roll, saying that I would get sick eating sushi from a theme park, and everyone who didn't get that and got the pizza got sick, and I didn't. So, you know what, Great Adventure, be bold. Try something different.
True.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Do you think El Toro will be Six Flags Great Adventure's next former coaster if it suffers another accident this year? Well, let's not say that, because it's already had a rough couple of years. Mr. Toro would probably have a heart attack if that happened, especially if he doesn't get his 2000th ride in. But no, I do not think El Toro will be the next coaster Great Adventure will remove. Removing El Toro really makes no sense. There's still so much they could do to make the ride more reliable if need be. I think it's great as is. Of course, it's a little rough here and there, but it's a wooden coaster. Really, I would much rather them just retrack it with RMC iBox track before they got rid of it.
Yeah.
At least we can have it still as good as ever, just smoother and probably more reliable. So I do not think El Toro is the next coaster on the chopping block of Great Adventure. Honestly, I really don't know which one would be next to go, because you can't really say like Dark Knight because it's still relatively new. It's popular. Skull Mountain, it's popular. I think they'll get give it a refurb before they get rid of it. Batman, of course, is coming to a pretty old age. It's 30 this year, but it seems to be holding up pretty well. So I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe Green Lantern, but it still gets lines every now and then.
Yeah, I don't think that anything is going, but as you alluded to, it's not Mr. Toro that would have a heart attack. You also have to count Mr. Carr, myself, and Mr. Tom Tracks and Hollywood Studios, and Mr. Brian Gray. No, we all have heart attacks. That's not happening. With El Toro, they're going to keep that. It's one of the greatest top 5, top 6 coasters here in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely top 6, 7 of mine.
I'd say top 5, but yeah.
Yeah, I can concur to top 5, top 6. It's definitely am there. Oh, like I alluded to yesterday with you on the phone. Yeah.
Right. Coaster Joe says, "Hey, Brian and Ryan."
Hi, Coaster Joe.
Hi, Joe.
I forgot Nitro is getting repainted. Definitely needed. Yeah. At least we assume it's getting repainted.
Yeah.
And personally, I honestly think I'd be more in favor of gray track with blue supports, just to make it look a little different. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority there. Blue track with gray supports would also look great, but that's basically Orion's color scheme, and I think it'd be cool to switch it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
People don't know for sure that it's getting the track repaint, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I hope so.
Copy your homework? Sure, Nitro, to switch it up a little bit.
Let's see. General refurbishments, I think something really cool would be to see new permanent show offerings, because it's something Great Adventure has been lacking for years. I agree. And I think a lot of the stuff they're doing now with like the pie eating contest, it's definitely a step in the right direction, but I don't think it's quite there yet. I think we should have shows that are on the quality level of Unleashed and Dead Man's Party that we get during Fright Fest. Fright Fest and Holiday in the Park have excellent show offerings, and I think they're definitely missing out on a huge opportunity to capitalize on that space they have with the Showcase Theater and the Batman Stunt Arena, and use them all year for events and shows like that. I mean, I'm surprised they don't do it, but I think the 50th will definitely have them do something like that.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I went, I think, a week from last Friday, and they were trying to do the pie eating contest, but there was just A, the park wasn't very crowded, and B, very few people wanted to participate. So, like, it's a great idea, but there's just so many variables that could make it not as good. But shows consistently would be great. But then I think the challenge you run into is staffing as well. So maybe it's like a weekend thing, but even still, to have something is better than nothing.
Yeah, that Batman stunt show was exquisite. I will never forget it. I'm sure your father remembers that, Colin. Man, when the Joker... great. The Joker and the Batman fighting scenes, oh my God, it was off the chain. It was incredible. It's my favorite show, on top of the Dolphin show and the jet ski shows. Wow. Yeah, I missed that show.
Next.
Go
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, and the Batmobile was in there too. That's right. They had the Batmobile in there also. Remember that time?
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Great Adventure needs to spend money for 2024 and getting Houdini refurbished with all effects working probably would be the cheapest ride to spruce up. I was there last Saturday and the line was out to the walkway. Well, the main reason the line was like that is because they decided to put the VIP garden in the middle of where Houdini's extended queue space was, which personally I don't think was really the best move. I think they really needed that queue space for Houdini because it's right at the front of the park and it's a very popular attraction. So I wouldn't be surprised if eventually they do revert it back to having more queue space. But I think Houdini, I haven't ridden it this year yet. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I know it's been kind of up and down a little bit. I think as long as they're able to keep it running in general, it's great. It's a very complicated attraction, and you really get to appreciate that when you go on a behind-the-scenes tour of it like we did last year for Thrillathon. It is not a simple ride in the slightest. There's multiple drums rotating around each other. It's really cool to watch, but most of the effects I've noticed at least have been working in years past, so I think Houdini's in a pretty good state right now.
Yeah, there's not much wrong with it. I mean, relative to Skull Mountain, which I think is in more desperate need of the refurb on the theming, but for sure.
Jack says mid-ride looks just as bad as El Toro, referring to the Super Boomerang. Now, we're gonna have to hold on responding to that comment because we got another super chat.
We do.
Thank you, Maliki, for the super chat. I really do appreciate the congratulations. Thank you very much. Now, back up to Jack's absurd comment. Let's see if I can find it. Ryan, you can start with your rebuttal to that statement.
Not cool.
Yeah, I agree. Now I'm struggling. There we go.
Preposterous.
Yeah. For starters, the Super Boomerang does not look mid. It actually looks really good. And El Toro, saying that's bad, you're going to get pitchforks at you from the coaster community, my friend.
Right.
Preposterous. No doubt about it.
Next up, would you put Shockwave and Great American Scream Machine on the same sign outside of Green Lantern, even though Shockwave was on the other side of the midway?
Shockwave.
I think Shockwave would probably be better putting it where Houdini is to a point.
Yeah.
Same with Garden of Marvels, because I think Garden of Marvels was over there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was.
So definitely Scream Machine back up on Lantern, because that whole front entrance of Lantern is Scream Machine's main queue from back in the day. So.
Yep.
That zero-G stall is nice. That is very, very true. That stall on the Super Boomerang looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. Same with that double up and the dive and the roll. It all looks great. Let's see. I really wish it'd be themed to the chiller, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Me
I don't
neither.
think so either. So,
No.
oh well.
Is that
I could see them adding a seventh car instead of a turntable, which would make the capacity around 924 people per hour. My only issue with that is that the 24 then kind of has a weird representation in the whole riddle. 24, I always assumed meant 24 riders per train, but it could also mean 24 for 2024. Not sure. What do you guys think?
They definitely need to address the capacity to be more great adventure friendly. Because yes, by and large, the park is not as crowded as it's been in the past, but the whole idea of bringing in something new is to bring more crowds. So they definitely, just from the base model, need to upgrade the capacity, because hopefully that, I don't know, they're trying to draw more people in. You got to be able to accommodate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
If you want to get more people in the park, then you got to get a ride that's going to draw people's attention. Like, oh, wow, take a break from El Toro, King of Ka, etc. Oh, wow, I never seen this kind before. What's this? Let's go on it.
Yeah. Anything's better than the original plan. Hey, seventh car. Of course, I like the turntable. That makes sense. Or even something similar to Mr. Freeze in St. Louis and over Texas.
Very true.
Whatever it takes.
Let's see. The restraints look really comfortable, and a lot of people have experienced these restraints. They may not realize it. They're on Jolly Rancher Remix at Hershey Park. Same restraint. You have it on Great Nor'easter at Maurice Piers, the SLC. Same with Riddler Revenge at New England. A lot of the Vekoma Boomerangs and SLCs now have that new Vekoma vest, and it is very comfortable. I don't know how it'll be for airtime, but they're much more comfortable than B&M vest restraints, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mid coaster for a mid park. Good coaster for the top. How do I put it? One of the best Six Flags parks. Let's do that.
Oh, I got a better one for you. One of the best coaster parks. Well, one of the best parks in America, as far as I'm concerned. But especially with Magic Mountain. I don't even want to talk about that travesty. And definitely up there with Cedar Point and Kings Island, hands down. Definitely one of our favorite parks.
Let's see. Are you doing lives for Fright Fest? I definitely will consider it. It's not a definite, but I don't see why not. It'd be cool to do because I think Fright Fest this year is going to be huge because it is the 30th anniversary of Fright Fest. So we also have a guest joining us, John.
Oh, John.
Welcome to the stream.
Hey, how you doing?
I think we hear some echo between Brian, Ryan, and John.
Yeah.
John, you might have to go further away from them.
I'm on the charger, so yeah, I can't really move.
That's all right. Wicked Cyclone or Twisted Colossus? Oh boy.
Twisted
all
Colossus.
Yeah,
I
it's not
agree.
even a
Twisted
debate.
Twisted Colossus, easily, hands down. It's
Wicked
one hell of a
Cyclone's
coaster.
great, but Twisted Colossus is even great.
Yeah, you got the high five treatment and the duel with the Mobius loop. Come on now. Pretty much damn near the best coaster at Magic Mountain alongside X2.
Yeah.
Yeah, one
El
hell of a
Toro is not overrated.
hell no. No.
No.
I mean-
Underrated.
That's false.
What's that?
It's false. It's underrated.
I think it's just rated.
It's
I mean,
fairly rated.
There's some
Uh,
pretty painful spots that if you're rewriting it to death, make it a little less than as hyped up as it gets sometimes. Certain people overrate it, but I think on the whole, it's not overrated.
Now for the Golden Ticket Awards, it's underrated. That's why I alluded to that. It's actually this right here, El Toro is overrated. That's the antithesis of that. I would say, yeah, more like underrated.
All right.
That's how great it is.
Ace SN would really like you to say hello to him or them or her. I don't know.
How you doing?
There you go. What is the best row on Blue Streak? Not back row. Second to back row. Second to back row.
Oh no, the front because they want to ride the smoothest.
Second to back row is very smooth on that. Anyways, what is your favorite manufacturer? We'll go from me to you two to Ace to John to Tom. My favorite is Intamin. I think they're definitely one of the biggest innovators in the entire industry. They create some of the best rides in the world, period. They have a very good track. Well, they don't have a very good track record, but that's because they're willing to try different things and experiment, and I really appreciate that. Ryan?
I would go with Intamin and B&M.
I would go with B&M.
I'd go with the big two, Intamin and B&M.
Yeah.
The greatest.
I would go with RMC.
It's a good one.
I'll say Intamin because I generally like hypers, and I can think of 3 in my top 25. So, and they're all like pretty up there. So, good on you, Intamin. Great job.
Does that
RMC
include Superman?
would be my favorite, but they really just stick to their bread and butter. They're starting to branch out a little bit now with their Wild Moose coaster and the family coasters, but I don't think they've been around long enough and done enough different things to really make me be able to say they're the best. And B&M, I know a lot of people really like B&M. B&M's not one of my favorites. I think when you really take a look at their catalog, it's very similar to that of Vekoma, where they just kind of copy and pasted what is essentially the same ride all over the place. And sure, a lot of them are good, but if you've ridden one, you've almost ridden them all. And that's the same thing you can say about Vekoma's old school models, which people really don't like old school Vekoma. I'm not a huge fan of B&M myself, though I do think their Hyper and Giga model is up there as one of the best models in the world. Those restraints are excellent too, but I think their looping coasters, not really my favorite. I think their later models are kind of hit or miss. Haven't been on the surf coaster yet, so I can't speak to that. I really like wing coasters. I know a lot of people think they're gimmicky, but I think they're much better than typical floorless coasters. But I do think their dive coaster model is not the greatest. I've ridden not almost all, but I've ridden a good amount of dive coasters from them. I've ridden Valraven, Griffin, Sheikra, and Emperor. Griffin and Sheikra are definitely my favorites because they don't have those horrible vest restraints, and they have layouts more focused on airtime, which is what I think those coasters should be about. But then you have rides like Valraven and Emperor, which get ruined by their vest restraints for starters. And in my opinion, they're just okay.
Is Tom, the Superman, the ride at New England, part of your 25?
Yeah, I'd say so. It was closed last time, but pretty good. But Colin,
And the
you
other-
bring up average Intamins, and instantly I thought of Patriot at CGA.
Oh wow! And the other hypers, the two other Supermans, right? In America and Greatest Darien Lake.
I mean, those are the other two Supermans, but the one in America is not in my top 25, and
You said
also
too high. You said
and
too high.
also I was referring to Millennium Force and I-305, which
Oh,
is
okay.
technically more than a
Okay.
hyper, but you can, I don't know,
Oh yeah,
you know,
I got
Same
you.
model.
same
Yeah,
thing.
it is. It is. They're definitely in the same realm.
Anyways, we're going to continue. Why do you think the Chiller logo is next to the Flash logo? I personally think it could mean we are seeing a dueling Super Boomerang, maybe Flash X Reverse Flash or Flash X Kid Flash. If you don't know what Drupally Sloth here is talking about, let me pull up the images here. It's going to take a little second here because I got to go into my files. But today, Great Adventure, we spotted the Flash logo and the Batman and Robin the Chiller logo written into the gravel or dirt, stone dust, inside the Arboretum at Great Adventure. I put it in the video, of course, because I figured you guys would like to see that. Ryan.
Yes.
You want to tell them a little bit about those two?
So we were walking past Cyborg, and we decided to go through the flower spot behind Cyborg, and we spot the Chiller logo and the Flash logo. We're like, where'd this come from? That's weird. That wasn't there earlier.
All right, I'm working on getting these pictures up for you guys. Let's see. There's Chiller. Whoever drew that did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Would you say
Yeah,
so,
anybody.
Tom?
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, whoever did a good job.
It's
Yeah, that's how it looks.
identifiable.
That's the Chiller
Now-
logo.
Let me pull up the Flash one. There's the Flash. I think my dad would definitely agree when I say whoever did that was pretty good at it.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
Hope you guys are getting the hints I'm giving you, but we're going to move on. Have you heard about the new coaster Fuji-Q? Yes, the Intamin. Looks pretty cool. Hi, Colin. I might go to Great Adventure sometime this week. Should I go straight to King Ka or go straight to Nitro Jersey Devil first? So they do the park opening a little differently now. Basically, it's a rope drop system where the left side of the park, which is King Ka, El Toro, the Boardwalk, Medusa, all that, doesn't open until 11. Meanwhile, the other side of the park, which is Nitro, Devil, Movie Town, all that, they open at 10:30. So what we do is head straight to the right, go through the Metropolis path, hit whatever you can as you make your way over there, and as soon as you see it's getting close to 11 o'clock, bolt over to the other side, wait for rope drop, and from there, you can either go to King Ka or El Toro. King Ka, I find, is the better choice because it runs excellent first thing in the morning,
Yep.
but it's unreliable. So Toro, you can usually rely on being open. So it's really your call, but that's the way I would recommend doing it. And I knew we'd get to this one point or another, so here we are. Since this coaster was a last-minute surprise, when do you think the next planned coaster will arrive? 2025 or later? So, obviously, we all know that there was a lot of rumors going around a year ago, maybe a little earlier, I don't remember exactly, that Great Adventure was getting a Giga Coaster in the spot of the Northern Star Arena. So, it seemed like those plans were dead or delayed or whatever, and that's because Great Adventure is still planning a big coaster. Salim Basul, who's the CEO of Six Flags, loves Great Adventure. I know this because I've been to Great Adventure with him. He loves the park. He sees the fan base. He sees the crowds, and it's a great park as a whole.
Yep.
Great Adventure is built on record-breaking, massive roller coasters, and that's never going to stop for the park. Of course, people seem a little disappointed about the 2024 one, even though we don't even know for sure what it is. But I can assure you something bigger is coming after that. Think of it as being similar to the whole Wicked Twister Dragster combo, where Wicked Twister was kind of like, all right, whatever. It's going to be a capacity nightmare for the park, but it's still a cool ride. But then Dragster was, whoa, that's big. Think of this as being a similar situation. We see that Six Flags is now working with Intamin, as we can see with the Ultra Surf down in Georgia. There you go. But I'm going to let the 2024 hype build up before we get there. We still got a lot to get through.
Right.
Don't do Candemonium early unless you're in the gate right at opening. That line is brutal for the first little while, then dead at the end of the day typically. Candemonium and Skyrush, since they're at the very front of the park, during the midday, you can generally catch them in a lull where the lines really are not bad at all. What's your least favorite ride at Cedar Point? That would have to go to Corkscrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't think it was that bad on my first visit, but then I rode it again. I can't remember if it was 2022. I think it was 2022.
Yeah,
Not fun.
2022.
Not fun.
Yeah, not fun.
Wow, my least favorite ride at Cedar Point. Wow, I definitely have to say Magnum XL. No, I'm joking. I have to say the Corkscrew. I haven't rode it in years, and I don't plan on riding it anytime soon since I got the credit already. They need to remove it.
I think Blue Streak.
Yeah, please remove it.
Really? I like Blue Streak.
It was
Blue Streak. Who don't like Blue Streak?
boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Wow, Blue Streak is good. It's the oldest park. Isn't it the oldest coaster in the park currently? Yeah, it's the oldest coaster in the park currently.
What is your favorite coaster at Maury's Piers? That would have to go to
Well, that's
Great
easy.
White, but do not sleep
Absolutely.
on their two Vekomas. Sea Serpent is the best Vekoma Boomerang, and
Yeah.
Great Nor'easter is the best Vekoma SLC.
Yeah.
But Great
That's
White is
excellent. The Great Lightning is exquisite, especially going
Great
through the
White.
tunnel at the beginning. I mean, the Great White. I'm saying Great Lightning. The Great White going through that tunnel at the beginning, and right
Yeah.
there, the water's there too. It's a great coaster. I rode that 3 times, the most out of any other Maury's Pier coaster.
Oh, hold on, guys. We got to take a pause for a second. Think you all know what time it is?
Yeah.
Super chat.
Oops, wrong message. TwoGamer17, thank you for the super chat. What's your favorite mountain coaster? That answer is very easy for me to get. Just give me a second to pull up the video because I kind of have to.
Oh, bye.
Ace, you can answer yours though, because I know yours is the same as mine.
I've been on Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee. I would have to say the Goat Coaster, in Gatlinburg, at Goats on the Roof. That thing is just no joke. I let that thing rip, by the way, too. It literally was going straight down. There was barely any turns. It was just going straight down. I'm sure you got on that, Colin. What a great coaster.
No, but I got on one that's better.
I think that's the best one. Even if I get on Anarchista, I will go on that eventually. That one is just unbelievable. It's so long,
way
too.
to steal my thing here. But here we go. This right here is the best mountain coaster I have ridden. This is Rail Runner at Anarchista in Gatlinburg. Very similar area to Dollywood. I have the reverse POV on here just so you can see how insane it really is. This was filmed, of course, with permission from the park with the Insta360 selfie stick. So that's why it kind of looks like the camera's floating. There's a turn coming up very soon that almost throws you out of the ride. In fact, it's right here.
Whoa!
Jeez.
Oh.
And you can see I'm holding down that stick right there. That is what allows you to go full speed. I made sure I went full speed on both rides until the end because I was kind of worried. I didn't really know how the brakes went. So you see me let back a little early there. But absolutely insane ride. It actually makes my top list of coasters. I don't know where I have it ranked. It's probably top 80 or whatever, but really, really awesome ride. Really, really awesome. Do not miss that when you're going to the Dollywood area.
And don't miss Goats on the Roof either. That's definitely going to be 1A to 1A. Those are the two best ones. Trust me, you need to do that, Colin. You're going to love it. 6,000 feet plus. That's what makes it great. No BS either. Straight down, a lot of speed. That's why. But I'm going to still like that quite a bit when I get on Anarchista. I mean, that rail. We said a rail runner.
Yes, Rail Runner.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I got to
They're
get
also
on that.
getting another one. They're getting, I think, Hellbender, it's called or something, because they need one more tame than Rail Runner because Rail Runner is absolutely insane.
Wow.
But I will give a quick plug to all the mountain coasters in that area that treated us very well on our trip down there last year. Huge shout out to Ripley's Mountain Coaster, Moonshine Mountain Coaster, and Ober Mountain, which has Ski Mountain Coaster, and of course Anarchista. All great places. All right, back to this question. Who didn't go?
I can't go because I've never been.
Oh, hold on. We got to pause
Wait a damn
yet
minute.
again. Thank you, Master Adventures, for the super chat. No message attached. If you have a message you want to send, go right ahead and I'll pull it up. But without further ado, we are going to go back up to where we were if I can find it. Let's see. Now I can't find. Oh, there we go. I'm not going to scroll back down to it. It says, my 5-year-old is a budding coaster enthusiast and can't wait to be big enough for El Toro. Were you all coaster enthusiasts even as kids? I've had a Great Adventure season pass since 2008 when I was 2 years old. So I've always been a big fan of it. What do you guys, how about you guys? What's your stories?
Similar for me. I was 3 years old. 2003 was the first year I had a pass. I think even without being an enthusiast, I was, because I always loved going, whether it was like an after school day or on the weekend, whatever. Like I was always there. And as soon as like I became old enough to really realize like, oh, there's more than just Great Adventure out there. Like it was all over, especially after I got the means to travel. So yeah, it was always a thing.
Well, unfortunately, when I was a kid, I didn't have the resources to go everywhere. So I basically stuck to, obviously, Rock Playland, Coney Island, and Great Adventure. But once I got older, I've always dreamt, once I went to Great Adventure with the Scream Machine, collage of great different coasters. I don't think y'all have ever seen it, but they used to have all the different, like, similar rides to Scream Machine. I said, I got to get to all these others. I called them Great Adventures at Magic Mountain and Great America. Everybody would call them their Great Adventure. And I've had my pass, a season pass, actually, since 2001. I can't believe it's only 7 years before Collins. Wow. So ever since then, that's it. I realized I was a connoisseur because that's all I talked about in school was Great Adventure, even in junior high school. So, yeah.
John?
My first year was 1996 with my family. Skull Mountain's first year. And then from there, it was pretty much school trips. And then there was a brief period where, for whatever reason...
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Ahead, John.
Then there was a brief period where we stopped going for some reason. And 2010, we started back up. And ever since then, we've gone every year.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yep.
What about you, R&B?
All right, I'll go first, probably. All right, so I would say 2001, I got my first season pass, and then I was there Nitro's first year. I rode Batman, I rode the original Medusa, I rode Rolling Thunder for the first time, and I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah, I said, same as John, but went the first year in 1996, but get this, my 7th grade year, I was there the day before the malfunction at Kingda Ka. I was there the first year at Kingda Ka. And I rode for the second year in 2007.
Wow. That's awesome. Controversial opinion. Joker's a flat ride. You agree? I do not agree. It feels like a coaster.
No, it's a coaster.
It's got a lift hill. That is enough for me.
Yep. And the wheels and everything speaks for itself. No controversy at all.
So the Boomerang will only be able to run one train. If they don't have a turntable or switch
Uh,
track station, only one train.
Man, I hope not.
For Boulder Dash, I go Boulder Dash. I think
A
Ace
Boulder
is the
Dash.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah, Boulder Dash was great.
Honestly, don't want a Boomerang, but it's better than nothing. I wanted a new gen Vekoma at the park for a while, and I think they need a multi-launch. This fills both of those.
It's
Yep.
something different.
Yep.
And it's something that the park needs anyway.
Ace is the man.
Yes.
Thanks.
Let's see. Do you think something like Dragster could happen with COD? I honestly don't think it will.
No.
I don't think it needs it because COD's in a much more reliable state than Dragster ever was. So
Yep.
Yeah, and when you look at it, there wasn't Dragster like pretty much the second prototype. It was accelerated than Dragster, right? Number 2. Yeah, that was built right after. So COD
they
came out.
launched Accelerator at like 120 miles an hour to test it.
And COD came out as the 4th, right after Storm Runner. So that bodes well for us in 2005. So there you have it.
Lex Luthor or Falcon's Fury? Well, I can't tell you about Lex Luthor because Magic Mountain decided to not have it open, but I can tell you about Zumanjaro. And Falcon's Fury, I only ever got to ride once, which was in 2021.
It's a good ride.
It was really good, but I don't know that it's really my favorite drop tower. It just didn't have the weightlessness that most other drop towers do because of the seating position. I thought it was cool, but a little gimmicky, in my opinion. I know it's a very unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
So I would probably go with Zumanjaro, but Falcon's Fury is really good.
Yeah, I've been on all 3, and I can tell you right now, as you alluded to, Falcon's Fury was a flop. Lex Luthor was excellent, but I'm still going to take it, not just because Great Adventures Our Park. I'm going to take Zoo, where you got, congratulations again, the 2000 ride on Zumanjaro.
Yep, thank you.
To you. You're welcome. So, always Zumanjaro. You got me to like Zumanjaro more when I saw your love for it and had somebody to ride with me at the time. Didn't it do when we first rode 7 times?
I apologize to interrupt, but Ace, hit the horn. Thank you, JP Giles, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. My home park is Kennywood. I'm curious what you guys think about it. I won't be offended if you don't like it or heard of it. Phantom's Revenge opinion. All right. So I'm pretty sure Ace and I are the only 2 here that have been to Kennywood, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Kennywood, I had one experience there in 2018. It was a while ago. It was actually the opening day of Thomastown. And I really am not a big fan of Kennywood personally. I mean, granted, I haven't gone there in 5 years now, so it's been a while. But I thought the park was really crowded. The capacity on the coasters weren't great. The operations were really slow, and everything only had one train on a super, super crowded day. Skyrocket was closed. Little Phantom was in pieces. And Phantom's Revenge, I thought it really wasn't all it was talked up to be. I didn't think the airtime strength was there. I thought it was a fun ride. It was very smooth, but I just didn't think it did as much as I thought it should. And overall, the park didn't really have a great atmosphere to it. I'm not a huge fan of that area in general. I think Pittsburgh's not the greatest, but Kennywood definitely exemplified that. Though from what I've heard, it has gotten better in recent years, so I do want to get back, especially with Steel Curtain and because I miss Skyrocket, but Kennywood's not my favorite park. So unfortunately, I know it's your home park. I'm sure you enjoy it, but it wasn't really my favorite experience.
I can only say that when I went and had my best time at Kennywood, I think I've been there like 4 or 5 times. Last time was excellent. However, as far as I'm concerned, the area is wretched. I don't like the area going into the park. I cannot say I love it. I don't. The parking situation, if you got to go up there where the skylift is at, is horrible. However, I have to say the coasters, I will always give respect to that. And that would be the Phantom's Revenge. I definitely have a liking for it now, just as much as Steel Curtain and Skyrocket. So, and the wooden coasters. So they have some really good, excellent coasters. Actually, an excellent collection. So that's the only thing that's great about Kennywood. Because y'all all heard about what's going on with all the shenanigans with the people. And that's not good. That's not a good look for the park.
No.
Yeah.
Next up. Controversial opinion. The next roller coaster at Cedar Point I want to permanently close is Blue Streak.
Oh.
Corkscrew. Please get Corkscrew out of there. It looks great.
Goodbye, Corkscrew.
But they can do so much more with that area.
Yeah. Corkscrew. Goodbye.
The Giga stuff is out of control. Let's see. Hot take: a Giga does not fit in the park's lineup. Aside from being high capacity, I agree. It's basically just a bigger Nitro, which they don't
Yeah.
necessarily need.
Yep.
It'd be cool to have, but yes, absolutely not necessary.
Yeah.
Colin, what will it take for you to notice me? I'm noticing you right now. I never went to Cedar Point. Always wanted to go. What's up?
Can I play that clip?
Go for it.
John Joseph Gray the Fourth.
That's from one of their live streams. I guess, John, you had sent in a super chat, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Ryan seems to be in love with that soundbite. Anyways, before I get copyright striked, never went to Cedar Point. Always wanted to go, but in America, Colin, what would you rate Cedar Point out of amusement parks? It is definitely up there as one of the best parks. I think over the years, it definitely has gotten worse. It's not as good as it used to be. 2018 Cedar Point was peak, and it's kind of gone downhill from there. I didn't go this year, but I'm sure I'll be back next year, so we'll see.
Yeah, let's hope it gets better for 24 with the staffing and then even the Costa Mania, which was definitely abysmal in 2022. Atrocious.
All right, next up. Would you rate Cedar Point from 1 to 10? Give it a 9. It's not perfect.
I'd give it has potential. I'll give it a 9.2.
Tom?
I'll go with an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I'd give it 9. Yeah, I'd go great 9.
Yeah, 9.
Next up. What's the reason that Super Boomerang has so little capacity? It's because it's a shuttle coaster. That's pretty much it.
Mm. Yeah.
Great Adventure completely abandoned single rider lines, except for the one at El Toro. That one's usually open. But yeah, I'm not sure why most of them have closed. Medusa's has now been converted into the Flash Pass entrance. Nitro's is always blocked off. And Green Lanterns, I haven't seen it open in years. It opened with it, but I haven't seen it open in years.
Yeah.
And Devils, it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes they use it.
Yeah.
Which Six Flags park do you think will get the next Intamin? It's a hard question for me to answer.
Great Adventure. Mark it down. Why not?
Absolutely.
2025. After 2024, I'll say Great Adventure.
And let's hope that's going to be an Intamin Blitz on the
It's the same question. I'm just putting it up there so it's there.
Yeah, hopefully like something on the lines of Velocicoaster and Pantheon. That'd be a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I'd much rather see Power Hours return for Fright Fest rather than early in the season, like April or May. I think both are great. Fright Fest Power Hours was really cool, but I would love to see standard Power Hours come back in the spring too.
Have them both.
Your least favorite ride at Cedar Point? Answered this earlier. Corkscrew. Holland, do you like Jersey Devil or Nitro better? Typically, I do prefer Jersey Devil. I know a lot of people think I'm crazy for that, but I like the second-gen Raptors, which is Jersey Devil, A Great Adventure, and Wonder Woman at Magic Mountain, a lot more than most people do. Let's see. What do you think Eraser will open in St. Louis? Finished track work a few days ago. Probably in Fright Fest at some point. Hot take. Steel Force over Nitro.
No.
Mm-mm.
Hell no.
Magnum, I agree even less.
No.
I
Wow,
take Magnum
Magnum.
over Nitro. I'm a huge fan of Magnum.
That's kind of tight. It's hard. They both great. I like Steel Force in the back. Steel Force and Magnum. Those are really good coasters. It's a hard one.
Do you think they would ever retheme Dark Knight? I'm surprised they haven't already. So that kind of makes me think they're not going to. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
That would be pretty tough.
It would be. There's a lot in there. What is Justice League high score? Not a serious question. I just want to know.
You mean
Sorry
like
about that.
all time or like our personal high scores? Because
Well,
has-
today I got 380,000, which I would consider pretty good as of late. I mean, if you get 400,000 in modern day, as opposed to back when it first opened, that's pretty good in my opinion. I gotta excuse myself for a second. I'll be right back. I'll let you guys answer this.
Has anyone ever maxed out like in general, has anyone maxed it out? I doubt it.
DJ has.
Yeah, 500,000.
Yeah, geez.
When it first opened.
Yep. People were breaking scores left and right.
Wow.
Damn.
Right?
You getting Ryan ready for bed there, Brian?
Come on, Brad, tuck me in.
Right.
Oh man. Oh my God.
Hey, Ace.
Yeah.
Guess what I wrote for the first time today?
What was that?
A swashbuckler.
Oh wow. Did you get sick?
No, I didn't get sick.
That's good. How about you, Tom and John? Do you get sick when I get on?
I've ridden that thing a million times. I even used to work it, so that was pretty cool.
It's a cool ride.
Back from my ride op days, but yeah, no,
Nice.
I like that. Sky, I have a soft spot for that ride.
Yeah. There's actually in Little Italy in the Bronx, they used to have they have a bazaar every year, a festival, and they used to have that ride actually. It's similar to like that one at Great Adventure. Look like you get to pack it up and go. It look like a temporary ride when you
All
look
right, I'm
at
back. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
Let's see. Next up, you think that they'll be investing in more entertainment? I definitely think they will.
Yes.
Yeah.
How excited are you guys about been working with Six Flags again? I am.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
very excited.
Yep.
Very ecstatic.
Ace's dream of a blitz at Great Adventure may finally happen.
Oh, hallelujah.
That is true.
Sweet. Yeah.
I already answered that. Playland should add a RMC Wild Moose. I don't think they have enough room for it.
Oh, no, they don't.
No.
Thoughts on the idea of RMC Boss at St. Louis? Yeah, I saw the video. I rode Boss 3 years ago in 2020. I thought it was a really weird ride. You can tell that when it was first built, it was probably great, but it's one of the weirdest coasters I've ever ridden, honestly, because it has some elements that are really good and a lot that are really dumb, that are too drawn out and just don't do anything. So I think RMCing that ride would probably be for the better, but at the same time, that's one of the best coasters they have. So it's kind of tough. I don't really think Boss is that rough either. It's just that the layout is just odd. I think if it had a better layout, it would easily be the best coaster in the park, even better than Mr. Freeze. But RMCing that ride, especially with RMC's newer kind of elements, would make it one of the best coasters in the world.
Yeah, it's an excellent coaster. Huh?
I think it's worth it overall to RMC it.
Yeah, but I like it. Of all the times I've gotten on the Boss, and in 2020, I like towards the end. It pretty much throws you out. It seems like the train just comes right off the track, just like Rolling Thunder used to do. That's pretty cool, that element. Even though with the new, I believe there's some Millennium Flyer trains they have now. What are those trains called that they have now? They changed them. You got on them too in 2020. Yeah, those are nice.
Why, you rode Zambezi Zinger?
Zambezi Zinger. No, not yet. I haven't gone out to Wells of Fun this year. I haven't been there since 2020.
They're gonna RMC the Boss and call it the GM.
Huh.
Let's see. Next up. Also read in the Q2 earnings call transcript, they said on-road photos are coming back. Yes. So they're working with a new company that can incorporate both photos and videos. They're doing both, which I think is really cool. Very excited to see photos return to the park, and I'm definitely going to be looking into getting a photo pass once again, which I had with the old system. I think Magic Mountain was the park, or it might have been Fiesta, Texas, that had put out like a testing thing or whatever for their new photo/video system where you can get an all-season pass for it. So I think that's going to be really, really cool. I can't wait to see it come to Great Adventure, that's for sure. Bob, if you're still here, do you remember how much the Cedar Point brick cost? Because I don't remember. We bought it, but I don't remember how much it was. I've been to Clementon Park. Yes, 6 years ago in 2017. It's been a while.
I live a half hour away and still have not been.
The only one that can answer this question is Ace. Nitro or Raging Bull?
Nitro by a little. Raging Bull is excellent, but Nitro is just special. You know, and all the elements and going in near the lake, nothing like it. So, yeah.
Why is Barnstormer not open yet? I do address it in today's vlog, but as far as I know, it's because the state hasn't signed off on the ride yet. You can thank New Jersey for being New Jersey, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's your favorite coaster? DK, Joker. Though, don't sleep on Medusa and Superman. They are also great rides. But Joker, it has the airtime. It has the inversions. It's definitely the best coaster.
It's one of the weaker RMCs, but it's good.
It's good. But however, when I got on it earlier this month, I would have to say Medusa by a little bit. Because I got on the front after getting on the back 2 years ago. And so, yeah, I did Medusa 3 times. Yeah, I like it a little bit more. It's the best coaster in the park. And it's better than ours by a little bit.
I'd say it's better than ours by a lot.
Huh?
It's much better than ours.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's crazy going straight down that drop. That's alone right there tells you. Shows you.
It's also super smooth and intense.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Let's see. New flat ride going to Pine Barrens area. I, again, mentioned that in the vlog I filmed today that'll release tomorrow. I think maybe a Zamperla air race or literally anything along those lines would be great. Right in between Congo Rapids and Jersey Devil. Well, that whole area. I think right there they should plop a flat ride. And they should retheme Congo Rapids to something to do with Pine Barrens. I think that'd be cool. All right. I have no idea. Jeff has completely confused me at this point. I have no idea. I don't know if you guys have any ideas, but I have no idea.
I haven't been following along as close. Just have not had the time.
I don't know.
Ace?
Yeah, that's a tough one. It'd be nice to get another coaster. Because that is a special park.
I guess we'll
I
have
don't
to
know
wait.
what type of coaster. That's a good one. Wow. That's a tough one. They just got Dr. Diabolicals.
We'll let you think about it as we go to the next question.
Yeah.
Hot take. I only rode Vengeance, Devil, and I just rode Twisted Timbers for the first time Friday. Timbers is better than Vengeance. Steel Vengeance gets repetitive at the end. I do agree it gets repetitive at the end.
Yeah.
I think that overall just the length and the airtime, all of that really combined into being one of the best coasters out there. And by the way, I have an answer on how much the brick was at Cedar Point. My dad says it was $100.
Okay. Not bad.
That's not too bad.
Yep.
So without the Super Boomerang being available last minute, GA had no plans for a roller coaster to 50th? No. Tom, how would you feel if they themed this coaster to the Rangers?
Well, here's how it would go. If you had a New York Rangers themed coaster, you would pay a lot of money for elements and different things about the ride that were really good 10 years ago. You would pay all this money to go get the thing that was good 10 years ago and then be disappointed when it doesn't work or do what it was supposed to do. That is a roller coaster as the New York Rangers.
Wow.
See also Patrick King.
Ace is indeed the GOAT, Jack.
Oh, cool.
Hot take. Wow. Hot take. Cedar Point is poop emoji.
I
don't agree.
No.
I don't agree.
Now, if you said Coaster Mania 2022 is that, then yes.
Yeah.
But Cedar Point as a whole, no.
No, but just the staff can kind of be a little bit of iffy. That's it. Not the park overall. You cannot say that. No.
What is your number one coaster? I'm not going to tell you guys because very soon I will really be releasing. I don't know if I'm doing top 50 or top 100. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but that'll be released pretty soon. And I want to hold off on telling you guys until that video comes out. So I'll let Brian and Ryan, if he's still there, then Ace, then John, then Tom go. It's Brian.
Number one, probably Iron Gwazi.
Nice pick. Ryan, are you there?
He's going to join when he gets home.
Oh, okay. Ace?
Iron Gwazi.
John?
Sorry. Iron Glovesy.
Wow. Tom?
You know, I this has been an ongoing project in the little bit of free time I've had, but I think I've whittled down my top 25 coasters, and I haven't like formally ranked them yet, but my knee-jerk reaction might be X2.
Oh, cool.
I'll take a page out of the Brian Bola book.
Mm,
There you go.
that's a great coaster.
Colin, I love the glasses. Thank you. They're blue light glasses, so I don't lose my vision in 10 years. I think Dark Knight is better than Nitro. To each their own, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever floats their boat.
Let's see. Nitro is so overrated.
No.
On a day it's running slow, maybe, but most
People
days
don't
no.
like. People don't dislike it, but they don't think it's that great. So I think it's better than people rank it, but it's not overrated.
Yeah.
Still running great 22 years later.
Overrated by the GP though. The GP treat it like it's the greatest thing of all time, which it is definitely
Right.
not. What is your least favorite coaster you've ever ridden?
That's easy.
It's
That
either
is
T3 at Kentucky Kingdom or Looping Star at Keensburg.
I got something better for you. That's way worse. A million times worse.
Oh, Wildcat.
You lucky
at
you
Lake
didn't get on.
Compounds.
Yes, that was going to be my answer.
I forgot about that.
Lake Compounds?
Wildcat.
Wow. Wildcat. Ooh. No, I still got something even worse than that.
Oh boy.
Ah, the Intamin. Free spin.
Green
A
Lantern.
Green Lantern. That gave you a male hysterectomy. It threw your organs all over the place.
Nice.
I'm serious. Yeah, my organs went
Knock
all
it
over the
off,
place.
everybody.
Guys,
Knock it off.
hang on a second. We have to take another pause. Get the horn out. Check it. Has sent the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Looking at theming, ride experience, capacity, etc. What do you think is the best ride at Great Adventure? I think it's either Skull Mountain or Nitro. Well, let's see. If you're talking capacity, Nitro and Skull Mountain probably win the game there. Ride experience goes to, in my opinion, El Toro by far. Theming goes to Justice League and Dark Knight probably. Skull Mountain isn't there anymore, ride experience wise. So, I mean, overall, I still say El Toro because I value ride experience over everything. El Toro still has really good capacity. I mean, 36 riders per train is nothing to scoff at. And the theming for the area is great. Of course, El Toro, it doesn't really have any on-ride theming, but the station is themed well. Sign looks great. The whole area is great. So I still say El Toro.
And not only does El Toro have the best capacity, see, a lot of people it don't occur to them that it also has the elevator lift. So that's even faster than Nitro. So you're going to compensate for that, not having that third train. It's going turbo fast. So, yeah. And
Ka also does have excellent theming. I will say that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The Golden Kingdom is exquisite. I was just there the other day. My friend was there. He loves Great Adventure Bottle. We gave you a shout out too, Colin. He said this is my favorite park. I like it more than Kings of Mini and where I work at. Dominic loved it. He wants to come back for Fright Fest. Yeah, Great Adventure is great.
Next up. Yeah, I saw 101.5's list. I wasn't very happy about it. Nitro is not the best coaster in Jersey, in my opinion.
Oh, did
Toro
you just
easily wins that.
Jesus
I
Christ.
guess you skipped from the last super, or that's whatever was next after the super chat.
Oh, that is. I forgot. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys.
But no, yeah. NJ 1015, not a good take.
No.
Where was I?
The worst coaster.
I was.
Yeah, the last question
Here.
was the worst coaster. Yeah.
So who didn't go?
I mean, I mentioned that I was going to take Wildcat at Lake Compounds, and I hope the retrack works out for it because I would be willing to give it another chance. But so far, yes, that was the worst.
Yeah, painful. Oof. Painful credit.
I would go with probably Sea Serpent and Maurice.
What? That's the best Boomerang.
I almost got sick, Colin, after I got off.
Is that the only Boomerang you've ridden?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
It's a very intense ride.
Oh, I promise there's worse. See,
Oh, yeah.
Flashback at New England, that one was also hot garbage.
Oof.
Purposely skipped out on it when I went Friday.
Corkscrew.
Corkscrew's not fun. Hellcat is also at Clementon. Hellcat is brutal. I know my dad likes it, but that is
Oh my
one of the
god.
roughest coasters in the world right there.
That thing just beat the living hell out of me. I got on it twice in the front. And then to add injury to insult, it was Hellcat. It gave me a splinter in my hand, my finger. How about that? They got to take the splinter out. Yeah, when I was leaving. Phew, what a painful credit.
Why do you think Great Adventure brings out the same characters for the meet and greet? Bugs, Daffy, Tweety, Sylvester, Porky, and then there's nothing else. They did bring out Foghorn Leghorn at one point, which was cool to see.
Yeah, that was like a couple weeks ago.
I do think they only have certain characters at the park. We did see characters we've very rarely seen at Great Adventure when we were at DK. We saw Taz and Pepe Le Pew
was there,
which was really cool to see. But I think all the Six Flags parks have different characters they have. Like Great Adventure, for example, I haven't seen any DC characters in years. It's been
Here's one for you related to this point, and this is the book. Totally, my own, not sponsored or anything, but the Images of Modern America Great Adventure. Because I was waiting for an opportunity. I don't know how well that reads, but like that's all the characters they had in the 90s. Like, wow. I don't know if everybody's seeing that, but like, what a lineup! Insane. What I would not give to have Pinky and the Brain at the park. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun stuff.
Next up, I'll let everyone answer this. What is your favorite coaster at Dorney? It tends to be a toss-up between Talon and Steel Force, but I have a real soft spot for Possessed. Possessed is really fun.
Yeah.
Brian? Oh, Brian, you haven't been there, right? Have you?
Not yet. I think next year.
Yeah, next year.
That's right. Ace?
That's easy. That's Talon.
Tom?
I immediately want to say Steel Force, but Talon's up there too.
Absolutely.
Do we think Iron Menace will take the mantle?
Yeah.
It could.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
based on my ride on Emperor, I don't think so, because Iron Menace would be pretty similar to Emperor, but we'll see. Yeah. Let's see. With the announcement at Over Georgia, our interns going to start showing up at the parks. Definitely. I think we're going to see some multi-launches, probably vertical LSM coasters too. Probably a lot of the off-the-shelf models, if I had to guess. But we really don't know what Six Flags, at least Six Flags under Salim's strategy is for adding coasters. We haven't really seen enough yet. Dr. Diabolical and Wonder Woman, that was from the previous regime, not Salim. All we've seen from Salim is Kid Flash, Rookie Racer, the Ultra Surf, and Great Adventures Coaster, whatever it winds up being. Let's see. Skipping that. Here we go. Why do you praise El Toro so much when it's clearly so mid? Because you're the only one that seems to think it's mid.
Wow.
I certainly don't praise it. It's really good. It's top 10 for me, but like I don't think I love it as other people seem to like it.
I mean, I just ride it a lot. So
that too.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's an excellent coaster. And we don't appreciate it as much as someone who doesn't ride it all the time like we do.
Yeah, it's worth riding. Pretty much one of the most rideable rides, especially riding it 44 times in a day.
I can't.
Wow. Next up, let's see. We had an interesting question here for Ace. Ace, how would you quantify the amount of an ingredient needed in a recipe when it calls for a pinch of it?
That's a good question.
Like, you know how like in a cookbook, sometimes it'll say you need a pinch of it?
Oh, very simple. Like literally, like a pinch of salt, Or like, for example, let's say if I'm baking a cake and I decide I want to put some vanilla in it to really, really accentuate the great taste of it, whether it's a strawberry cake or vanilla cake, I'll put a pinch of vanilla extract, the pure one.
Well, yes, but what do you call a pinch? Like, is that
a pinch is basically like a drop, probably like a drop or two. That's probably what it is. No more or less. Just like a pinch of salt, very good, like a few sprinkles.
Let's see. On average, how long does a repaint take? Generally, a
Ooh.
couple months. It depends on the size of the coaster, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd rather see them spend Nitro's paint budget on theming the new coaster to chiller.
Wow.
I don't disagree, but Nitro really needs a paint job.
Yeah. Big time. It hasn't gotten a paint job in 22 years since it's opened in 2001.
What's your favorite flat ride? So if we're talking flat ride that's not an upcharge, that is easily the SNS Scream and Swing for me. I'm not a huge fan of Zampero's rides. I mean, I like their I prefer a regular Enterprise over the second gen, but I really like the SNS Scream and Swing. And if we're talking upcharge attractions, the skyscrapers are genuinely one of the best rides out there. And I imagine the same could be said for like Adirondack Outlaw at Great Escape and Catwoman Whip at St. Louis. Incredible rides. And I've ridden the ones down at the shore, so Casino Pier and Maurice. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
I'd partially agree with that, but how are we talking about? Overall flat rides? Zoom and Gerald.
Okay.
I love Drop Tower, especially that one.
Yeah.
With the King of Cod duel.
Brian?
I'm gonna say Wonder Woman at our park.
Thomas?
Good one.
I like the flat ride and flat ride, or did I say flat ride? I meant dark ride. Like dark ride and dark ride adjacent rides, meaning like Knott's log flume, like not technically a dark ride, but it's kind of got that feel with the animatronics. So anything like that is pretty cool.
True. I've finally ridden West Coast Racers. Have you noticed a weird maneuver on the track above the final brakes? Feels like the train is being pulled to the right in a weird way. I don't think I know what you mean.
I have no idea.
I can't really think of what you might be meaning.
I noticed those god awful comfort collars.
Yeah, smacking my ears. Those suck. Rides really fun, but comfort collars just suck.
They're horrible. Should be phased out.
Do you think they'll put some type of memorial dedicated to Warner Leroy for the 50th? I think it'd be really nice if they did.
Yeah.
I think they should. I don't know that they will, but I think it'd be great if they did. Let's see.
Oh, point for the last question. SF Great Adventure Dizzy says WCR might refer to Wildcats Revenge, maybe.
Oh, I didn't
Whoa.
think about that. Yeah.
It's a good
Yeah,
point.
Oh
I know
boy.
exactly what you mean. So that final air
Oh
time
wow.
is turned to the left, so you get that thrown out of your seat to the right.
Yeah.
Air time. I think that was on purpose. I
Yeah.
think they wanted to throw in some laterals into that element, so they did it like that. Or they
Great
just
ride.
made the turn at the wrong angle and they kind of had to. So, who knows? Thank you for the clarification. Let's see.
Top 5 easily. Oh my God, what a great coaster. Top 5 for me. Before Superman and Toro.
Skipping through
Oh
some
my
of the
God.
comments here. You are my favorite YouTuber. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's great.
Could you do more lives? I love listening in and chatting with people. I probably will be doing one not too long after this at the rate the channel's been growing. Whenever we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm definitely going to do a pretty massive live stream for that.
Great.
It's a pretty big achievement. So we'll see when we get there. I try to do them like every other Sunday. They almost always are on Sunday nights. So yeah, I enjoy the live streams. They're a lot of fun.
And what you should do is you should have just like you got your 400th, your father got his 400th coaster and Tom got his 300th. You should have like a 200. I mean, you should have a paper or something, or even something like printed out. Hollywood Studios, 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah, maybe.
And hold that up. That'd be great.
So guys, now that I'm looking at just how much I have to get through in this chat, I'm going to be closing off questions at 9:45. I'm going to put a line in the chat, and that will be where we stop accepting new questions we ask. So get your questions in now really quick, because at 9:45, there will be a line in the chat stating no more questions. So we're going to try to go through these a little quicker so we can get closer to the end. So assuming that Great Adventure gets the Super Boomerang, what do you think is going to be the next coaster, or is the next big coaster the park needs to fill their lineup. GCI Woody spinning coaster. I think both of those would definitely fill the gap. But like I said earlier, I think their plan is to get a giant Intamin coaster, presumably a multi-launch, after 2024, because that's obviously been discussed and planned for a little while now. Not for 2024, but later. And I think that's still going to happen.
Yeah, I've said this once, and I'm gonna say it again. Not only getting a Blitz, but if who's to say it's a Giga too? That would be the ultimate way to get a Giga as opposed to the B&M. That would be really, really great for the park.
They need that GCI Woody again. Like, we need,
Rolling
in the
Thunder.
same way that the Super Boomerang will help fill like the multi-launch thing that isn't King Ka, the GCI Woody would do the same to have a not as intense Woody that isn't Toro. Like, yeah, and
also
ever
need a
since
dueling
Rolling
coaster.
Thunder,
Rolling
we also
Thunder.
need what?
A dueling coaster.
That too, yeah. So
Yeah.
those are two obvious gaps in the lineup that I think they need to address next.
So realistically, the next two coasters for the park to get, in my opinion, would be dueling GCI family coaster or just dueling GCI in general, and a Mach Extreme Spinner. Mach Extreme Spinner would probably be one of the best coasters in the world. I don't think they're going to do that because they're not cheap, but I think a spinning coaster should come to Great Adventure at some point.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, because they have already confirmed in their announcement that
420.
Top Thrill 2 is going to be 450 feet tall. Spike
Both
will be
ends.
450 feet. So that's not happening. I think Great Adventure will have 20 coasters in the next 10 years. I think they'll come close, but eventually they're going to have to start removing the older rides, and they're not going to be able to keep up. And judging off of Magic Mountain, which has technically 21 credits, 20 coasters, they cannot keep them open for the life of them. So I would much rather have less rides with them open all the time at Great Adventure as opposed to more rides with them never being open like at Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah, it's the best run park outside of Fiesta, Texas, as you can allude to, and pretty much attest to you and Tom that even me, I'm calling Horrible Mountain. It's not nice like it used to be. Half the coast is closed, and I'm actually angry. I'm pretty much furious because what you guys had to go through for your first time. Not me, because I've been on the rides, but y'all, that was terrible seeing what you guys went through at Magic Mountain. So
Yeah.
Great Adventure is hands down the best overall, with the coasters and everything being open outside of the lock room.
Next up, it would be great to see Garden of Marvel's return. I think the Arboretum was kind of a precursor to that.
Mm.
And I think it'd be cool to see them expand upon it. Kind of like what they did with the what was it called last year with all the graveyard of Ford rides. I can't remember what they called it.
Oh, the Garden of
Yeah, Forgotten Garden.
the
Great
Forgotten
Adventure
Garden.
Garden?
Is it?
Yeah, Forgotten Garden. That's what it was called. I think it'd be cool to see that return.
Yeah.
Let's see.
For you guys, no.
Oh, you're leaving?
No, I got a question for you guys. No.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you guys see what is it? Flavors of the World returning next year?
It's a possibility. I think they're kind of using Great Adventure as a testing ground for different events. So we'll see. Like Summer Vibes was a test, and now it's at other parks, but Great Adventure didn't have it. Let's see. Couldn't imagine the difficulties repainting Nitro, all that track and Crazy Heights as well. Ace, will you be on that job?
Nah, I do roofing. No way I'm a painter like that. I could paint, but no.
Hey, well, you climb tall heights to go on roofs, right?
No, I actually go through hatches. In my neighborhood, all the houses are attached. So if I have to do somebody's roof, I can go up my hatch, and I could just go to over the neighbor's roofs. They don't mind me going through, and it's the safest way. I could bring all the materials over that way and do the job.
Maybe Vekoma has an XL Super Boomerang in the works.
Mm.
So the whole reason people think it's a Super Boomerang is because of 436 being the length of the track of the base model. So I think it'd be weird if they did get a Super Boomerang that was different and longer, even though 436 matches with the base model. That's just my thoughts, at least.
Mm.
Let's see. Big O would like to know, Ace, what should I dress up as for Halloween? Anything scary works.
You should dress up as, let's see. I haven't really thought about that one. I'm trying to think of probably somebody else. You could be Freddy Krueger.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good height. You're his height, pretty much, close to his height. 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". Yeah.
How many Giga coasters do you know? Well, I know all of them, but if you're asking how many I've ridden, Orion, Fury, Millennium Force, I-305. 4 of them. I'm still missing Leviathan, Red Force, and Steel Dragon 2000.
Yeah. I'm missing. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm missing, obviously, everything outside of North America. Red Force and Steel Dragon. So, yeah, I got everything in North America.
Long time no see indeed, Zach.
Huh.
King of Caso underrated. It's the most fun coaster, great adventure. Toro's better, but Ka's more fun. Ka's a very fun ride.
It is one of the best.
Do you think there's any chance of us seeing an RMC Rolling Thunder or Rolling Thunder-like coaster in 10 years?
Yes.
I could see a dueling wood coaster. I don't know if we'd see an RMC rebirth of Rolling Thunder as much as I'd love to see it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's say there's one more attraction besides the Super Boomerang and it's a flat. Which would you choose? I would pick probably a Scream and Swing because Scream and Swing, like I said, are my favorite flat ride. So, yeah.
Those are great. Like the Cedar Point one being the largest one, those are great.
I'm going to get hate for this pick and know that it's not my pick because it's the best flat ride ever, but because I love this idea. And if anyone from Great Adventure is watching that can make this decision, have this one for free. At New England, we rode, I was there and I rode Cyborg Hyperdrive. I think that would be a perfect fit in the Explorarium or the observatory right next to Dark Knight. It could fit in there, theme it to Lex Luthor. You could build part of the queue line outside, part in the back area of the observatory where the gaming TVs are right now. And I think you could drop one of those hyperdrives in that space. Wouldn't require much extra construction other than to build the ride itself, and it would be a perfect fit in an already existing structure. There you go, Great Adventure. Have that one for free.
The Cyborg is really nice at New England. It makes you a little dizzy, but you know what, Tom? That is a good one.
Yeah, no, I did not feel great getting off of it, but
you need some double mint, anything with mint to quell the dizziness.
It would be a really cool fit, especially if you get Lex Luthor theme.
Yeah, anybody with bad stomachs, make sure you have your mint or in the form of double mint or spearmint. That will quell the nauseousness.
Let's see. Do you think a lot of parks will replace their wild mice with the new wild moose?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Especially if they're operating well.
How much longer do you think Twister has a Great Adventure?
Oh,
I'd say no more than a decade, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a shame because it's a really fun ride.
Yeah.
It's very rare now, too. It's one of very few.
Yeah, and real quick, they took out the one, and I forgot the name of it, but it was in Kings of Mini. And I know Dominique told me the name when we hung out at Great Adventure on Thursday. That was a nice ride, but they took it out in Kings of Mini. Crip, they took it out like three or 4 years ago,
Yeah. I was going to ride it, too, and I was there in
Wow.
But
it was a nice ride with the fire.
Who of you has been to a park outside the States? Well, I guess if you count Canada, Ace, but if you mean outside of North America, none of us.
No.
My home park is Phantasialand. I mean, I love that place. Agreed from Germany. 3 a.m. there. Wow. Yeah, Germany is definitely up there. I'd love to get to Europa Park, Phantasialand, Heidi Park, Honda Park. The Spanish parks look really great as well. You have the Warner Brothers Park. What is it? There's Parque de Atracciones and then Parque Warner Madrid with Batman. That looks excellent. Wallaby Holland looks great. Energylandia looks great. A lot of really, really just awesome looking parks out there.
The parks the Ferrari Land Park too. Ferrari Land
looks great. And so does the Japanese parks. You have
Nagashima. Wow. Yeah, Fujiku. Yeah, those are great parks.
I'd also like to get to Everland in South Korea and ride Toro's younger brother out there, T-Express.
Excellent rides.
Let's see. Colin, when you showed me those logos, the first thing I thought of was an enthusiast screwing with everyone. I doubt the park would do that. I don't know. I just realized I was not subscribed. Hope I get you to 10K soon, Hollywood. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Let's see. Do you think a park employee did the logos?
Maybe.
I don't know. Did your dad draw it? I don't know. Anybody in here excited for Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift? That ride looks awesome.
Yes.
So great that Universal
Yes.
Hollywood finally getting a real
Man.
real ride. So next time I go to California, whenever that winds up being, I will make it a point to go there because that ride looks sick. Looks like Velocicoaster, but just bam, fast paced, themed to Fast and Furious with the drifting seats. Looks amazing.
I'm so disappointed at everything but Knott's Berry Farm. You already know San Francisco, but even California's Great America. No, Knott's Berry Farm actually took the cake. San Diego was good too, but I will be out there when that coaster opens just because of that. That would definitely give me some new excitement for California because that's the only park I'm missing in America, pretty much. As when it comes to big, large parks, Universal Hollywood. And I said it once, I said it again. I will go when they get a big coaster. I'm not paying $200 for two little coasters, which are pretty much clones. So I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely.
Yes.
Let's see. Hey, Colin, what do you think you'll be at over Texas? The park just switched one side of Mr. Freeze back to launching backwards. I'm going to get there hopefully soon. I really don't know. Eventually. I want to get back there because I missed a lot of credits there. I missed, let's see, La Vibora, both mine trains, the Kiddie Coaster, Runaway Mountain, Aquaman was still under construction. So, and I would like to get on Mr. Freeze forwards because when I rode it was reverse blast. But Mr. Freeze is excellent. So glad to hear you have a choice between forwards and backwards now.
And it'll be basically you getting on a super chiller because chiller was like that. So
yeah, believe me, I've ridden both Mr. Freeze coasters.
Yeah,
they're excellent.
Both of you and Tom. It'll be like y'all getting on chiller, but a super chiller. So you're gonna be very ecstatic. I know.
So it's really Tom, Brian, and John.
Yeah, Tom, Ryan, and John. Yeah, I mean in regards to going the right way, but going forward. Yeah, it'll be just like you guys all getting on the original chiller, but a better version.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Let's see. Great White is so overrated. Pulls no forces. It's very overrated until you go to Coasting by the Ocean and ride it at night. I don't know what happens, what they do to it, but it runs so good at night. They must grease the hell out of it because those night rides we had on it at like 12, midnight, whatever it was, were so good. It was flying, actually giving really good airtime, great laterals, really fun ride. Let's see.
I agree.
Where's your favorite Giga? I-305. And I've ridden Fury. I prefer I-305.
Fury. It's my second best coaster all time.
John and Brian, I guess I know what your answers are.
Millennium Force.
Yeah.
Millennium Force, yep.
That's a good one.
For right now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. For now, yeah.
Hey, Tom, I am hopeful the Devils are Stanley Cup contenders this year. Thoughts?
Yes. My favorite offseason move has been the trading of Yegor Sharangovich for Tyler Toffoli. He is going to light it up, whether he's on Hughes' wing or Heischer's wing. It is going to be mutually beneficial both for Toffoli and whoever. Bratt and Meyer are locked up long term, which everyone said couldn't be done. They all said you had to get one or the other. We got both. So look out, the Devils. It is only going to get better for the Devils. So I will put a cap in it there before I ramble.
Yeah.
Well,
let's see. What's your least favorite coaster in New Jersey? That probably goes.
That's easy. That's easy. Keansburg. Come on now.
Looping Star.
Keansburg. That beat the hell out of you.
Or Hellcat at Clementon.
No, that thing with your coaster is the worst. Oh my god, that thing was so painful going down that drop. Every single element of that ride was the most painful thing ever. Outside of Green Lantern and Magic Mountain. No, that thing. Oh my god, that thing. I couldn't wait to get the hell off that thing.
Of what I've ridden, Tornado at defunct credit now, I believe. Tornado at Jenkinson's. It was just the most boring thing ever. And to me, that's almost worse than just being bad, because at least the really bad, painful coasters are memorable. Tornado just did absolutely nothing.
Let's see. Rail Runner is at Anarchista. Ace, what do you think of the Yanks this year?
I don't even want to talk about it.
No.
At least, well, you're a Yankee fan too, Tom. Listen, I feel worse than Stephen A. Smith right now on ESPN, the superstar ESPN. And I'm just going to say it like this. How the hell do you spend damn near $250 million and you get this crap? I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even watch it. It's so abysmal. It's an atrocity. I'm ready for 24. I'm done with this year. Terrible.
Wow. Okay. Next up, let's see. Six Flags Fun. I'm surprised I haven't heard from you on the connoisseurs page. I mean, not connoisseurs page, the history forums. Six Flags Fun was one of the biggest contributors in the whole Jersey Devil, I guess, rumor mill back in the day. So I'm surprised you don't have input on this, at least more. But we did get the Super Boomerang themed to Flash. Will Movie Town get rethemed to DC Universe? It was supposed to be rethemed to DC Universe a couple of years ago, and then that wound up not happening for whatever reason. So I do think it would make a lot of sense for it to be rethemed to DC Universe, or have that whole, I guess, L piece of the park themed to DC Universe, and have the front half be Gotham City, where Batman and Dark Knight are, and the back half from Wonder Woman to the end of the new coaster be Metropolis. I think that would make a lot of sense.
Yep.
Let's see. Lots of stuff here. Here we go. What are your top 3 New Jersey boardwalk parks? Number 1, it's got to be Maurice Piers. I mean, it's just the best.
Yep.
Number 2 goes to Playlands, Castaway Cove. I absolutely love that place. And number 3 goes to Casino Pier, another really nice place. What do you guys think?
I'd say number 1, Playlands, Castaway Cove, especially at nighttime, because you got the great gale force. Number 2, Maurice Piers with those 3 piers right there. And of course, number 3 would go to, well, I don't have much left. Casino Pier, easily, because you have Hydrus and the pirate ship and Zola Loca.
I've only been to 3, so I'll rank them best to worst that I've been to. So it's got to be Playlands, Casino Pier, Jenks.
Yeah, Playland's great. Great experiences. The 2 times I've been there in the last 2 years.
Maurice, then Ocean City, and then Casino Pier. And then if you had to add, if the question said 4, I'd say Casino Pier is 4th.
Chat, do you guys know Iron Gwazi, the tallest hybrid coaster in the world? Indeed.
Yep.
Never knew.
Yes. Hey, you got to get on it, Tom.
Yeah.
What's the best time to get in line for Steel Vengeance? Probably first thing in the morning, honestly, if you run there. That's your best bet.
Yeah.
Colin, I would really like if you played some sort of roller coaster game and make ride. So I've done that in the past with Planet Coaster, but Planet Coaster is really outdated at this point. I'm not proficient with no limits, so that kind of leaves me no options, unfortunately. I was going to make a pre-creation of the Boomerang, but Planet Coaster really doesn't give you many options to do that, unfortunately. After they get the Vekoma Boomerang this year, assuming they do, what do you think becomes Great Adventure's biggest need? A dueling coaster.
Yep.
A dueling coaster and a new family coaster.
I agree.
Spaghetti Bowl in East Coast races. Our counterpart to Magic Mountain's West Coast races.
I definitely think Great Adventure should get a Piscetti at some point.
Yeah.
It would be good for them, I think.
Yeah, for the kids.
Put it in National Park.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Rip out
what?
I said rip out that stage and put a spaghetti bowl right there.
They could also rip out Splashwater Oasis and Golden Kingdom right across from the bathrooms and plop one there.
Yeah.
Have like Tiger, Lion, whatever.
Yeah.
Mock Power Splash.
That'd be cool too.
Yeah, nice water ride.
You could put it by next to Joker.
True. My top coaster at BGT is easily Gwazi.
Yeah, number one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Consistent. That's the consensus number one for most people.
Well, they're in the process of getting a new
Yes.
coaster, so
That's gonna be
yes.
so cool. Right in the pirate ship.
Yep.
That's gonna be awesome. Gonna be the fifth
Mayor,
coaster.
glad to see you on the stream, man. Thank you for that. Really do appreciate it. Let's see. I think we can see a lot of super boomerangs pop up everywhere. I think parks are going to spring more for unique coasters. Like even the Premier Skyrocket 2, I would have thought that would have been cloned around a lot more than it was, but it really wasn't. I think parks are more interested in leaning away from clones and more into different unique coasters that set them apart from the competition, especially with the growth of social media, because now people have seen a lot of these rides before and they're not really interested. But when you have something unique that other parks don't have, that's when they get interested.
Yep.
I still think the figure 8 model would be awesome at Great Adventure. Maybe not that layout, but I think a coaster that incorporates a swing launch with the fishtail spike and a figure 8 loop would be awesome at that park. It would be great to blend in with the Blitz they're rumored to get. So I think that'd be great.
That's insane. Wow, I looked at that model. Wow. Insane. The world's tallest inversion. How about that?
Right.
With that.
Let's see. Used to think Devil wasn't that good, but started to draw me, but Nitro is better. Personally, I do disagree, but that's just me. There we go. Let's see. This I really can't answer because I don't know. I'm very conflicted on it.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Could St. Louis get an Intamin Hyper similar to Conda or Hyperion? I think that would be a good fit for the park. I don't know that St. Louis could get it though. I think Fiesta could, but I don't know about St. Louis.
That'd be perfect for Fiesta because they got the room to make it. They already started. I believe didn't they start knocking out some. Oh, you know what, Mr. He actually Mr. Seberg was on a video like removing something. Did you see that? To make room for a future attraction. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, they could definitely get a hyper easily. Yeah, make room for it.
My day has been pretty good. Went to Great Adventure, made some videos, and now we're here. Steel Vengeance or Wildcat's Revenge? I'll let you guys go first.
Well, not a little bit Steel Vengeance, but not much because Wildcat's Revenge has a few of Steel Vengeance elements in it. Makes it special.
Yeah, give me Wildcat. That's an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to take Wildcat over.
I'm not mad at you. That thing is insane. Top 5 easily.
Yeah.
Your boy Sammy would agree, though. I take Steel Vengeance ever so slightly, but I imagine once I get some night rides on Wildcat, it could probably bump itself ahead.
Oh, you should have gone to Coaster. I should go to CocoCon in 2 weeks.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm going. And Darius, we're official.
Nice.
Yeah, can't wait to do the night rides on Wildcat's Revenge. Wow, one of my favorites.
John, Brian, did you guys ride Wildcat yet?
Not yet.
Wow.
Let's see. Let's see. Congrats on 9K. Thank you. Ever been on the Zamperla Thunderbolt in Coney Island? It's got smooth rails, but rough trains. That ejector and loop is really forceful. I have been on Thunderbolt. It's an interesting ride. Very rough, very janky, but it's got some good forces, so it's interesting.
It's a good coaster.
Colin, did you make any videos with the owner of Six Flags? Well, if by owner you mean the highest level person in the Six Flags company, that would be Salim, which, yes, I have. I did an interview with him last year, and it's possible we could be doing another one this year, so stay tuned.
Oh, great.
Cool.
Let's see.
Nice.
Why is there no love for Shellraiser? Because Shellraiser beats the crap out of you. That's why.
You know what? You're absolutely. I could attest to that. I love the hell out of it, but man, once you get in that midsection with those inversions, bam, bam, bam. It didn't give me a headache, but a lot of people have gotten headaches because of it. It's the best coaster in the park, but it definitely does beat you up.
It's got a great layout, but
Absolutely.
the roughness just ruins.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that Minneapolis's version is everything is much smoother because they did the right pouring of the concrete and everything, and the foot is setting, and they did it correctly as opposed to here in Jersey. So there you have it. All the coasters there are smooth and makes it a better park in Minneapolis.
If Shellraiser was smooth, it would be an excellent coaster, but
it would be. So. It would be great, but
I just haven't been there yet.
Yeah, but just get yourself some Motrin and Tylenol when you do go.
All right, guys, we got to start moving a little faster through these questions because we still have a lot to go. Let's see. Let's skip those. When is Great Adventure getting a Giga? Who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Green Lantern's good, but it hurts your legs. If you know how to ride it, it won't. I know it sounds stupid, but let's see. Unrealistic idea: dueling intimate multi-launch coasters. They could have a section of it where it duels. That's definitely possible. Wildcat jumps all over Jersey Devil.
Yes, I think we'd all agree on that.
Yeah, Jersey Devil's great, but Wildcat is so good.
Yep. Wildcat.
Great Adventure should do a character dining experience. Something my kids, I'd pay good money. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Sesame does something similar with their characters. And if they see success, which I know they do, I'm sure Great Adventure could too. I mean, Looney Tunes are not as popular, but
they do that at Throne to an extent. It's like a light version. Like, they have the dime with the Looney Tunes, which is pretty cool.
Right. Let's see. Where's Wow. Skyrush, definitely not. But Soaring Eagle at Coney Island is
Soaring Eagle. The Valera, those are just terrible. Whether it's Coney Islands or Ride Playlands or Canada's Wonderlands, those things are janky and painful. Like a prisoner. Oh my God, that thing hurts. The Valeras are just terrible. The Skyrush has gotten best with the thighs. You have to know how to ride it. I actually had my greatest ride on Skyrush on Thursday in the front row, right in the middle seat. You have to put your legs down and you got to pretty much pin them to the ground and you're good. And you won't have no pain for Skyrush. And let your body go all around.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Let's see. Next up. Oops. Sorry about that. Let's see. Next up. In my opinion, if we would get rid of anything Great Adventure, it would be that animatronic cyborg. I enjoy that. I think that's a cool theming element, but I guess I can see how it creeps some people out.
And Justice League thing gives me nightmares.
Now, hear me out. A Batman and Robin screaming swing would go hard. Yes, it would. That's pretty cool, actually.
Wow.
Or like Robin and Nightwing, because it's the same person, just different eras. Thoughts on Hershey? Best park in the area.
It is. Yeah. It is what all theme parks should strive to be.
Yeah, I think it's not only the Energylandia of North America. I think it pretty much is overall a better park than Energylandia, and it's still going. They got way more coasters to get in the future, the next 5 to 7 years, easily. So they just bought that land with the $250 million expansion in 2020.
All right, we're gonna keep moving along here because we're almost at the end. Do you think we could see a Six Flags park getting sold anytime soon?
No,
not really. Honestly,
no. Economy is good.
Have you been to Dollywood? Yes, I've gone twice. Once in 2019, once in 2022. Great park. Lightning Rod's fun. Well, Lightning Rod's great. Thunderhead's great. Wild Eagle's great. Tennessee Tornado's great. Lots of great rides there.
Yeah, I went to.
Is excellent.
Yeah, I've gone to Dollywood 3 times also. I went in 2016, 2021, and 2023.
Thoughts on shuttle loops? I wish I could tell you, but the only one I could have ridden was closed. So, Ace, how was Montezuma?
Oh, Montezuma, just like Grease Lightning at Six Flags, then Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom. It was excellent. I like that old school feel of going blasted with the giant winch and then right through the loop. Really good. I wish they never took out the giant winch, especially for you guys.
Would you go live after Great Adventure announces their coaster for your thoughts? Definitely. Definitely going to go live to give my full thoughts. Of course, I'm going to make a proper edited video and everything first, but I'm sure I'll have a stream with all the people that we usually have brought in so we can share our thoughts on the 2024 editions. Kings Island or Cedar Point?
Kings Island.
Kings Island.
Hell yeah, Kings Island. Feel like home. The staff, the operations. I forgot the guy that's the with the communications, the Tony Clark of Kings Island. That guy was really nice. Yes, lovely guy, especially at Coaster Stock. That's my park. That is my undisputed favorite park of all time.
Cedar Point has the better coaster collection.
Yes,
Cedar
they
Point
do.
was ran the way Kings Island is. Cedar Point would be better.
Easily. Yeah.
Do you think Fiesta Texas will get a Vekoma Wildcat? It's possible, but I don't think 2024 will be the year.
Yeah.
So you can skip these. Atmosphere at Morris is a better stomach drop than Zoom. I do agree with that. Great Adventure Hershey Park. Hershey Park.
Yeah, Hershey Park overall, but Great Adventure has way better coasters.
Which park would benefit of Vekoma or Intamin Blitz? I think that would work great at Great Adventure. Personally.
Great Adventure. Easily. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, Great Adventure.
Not sure what you mean by plus size roller coasters. If you mean coasters that can accommodate people of larger size, I do think that would be a good thing to have. Of course, you see Disney did that with Tron, where they have that one car that accommodates guests of larger size. I think that's definitely something needed, especially when you have rides like El Toro that are super restricting. Even someone who is fairly, I guess, average in size can struggle to fit on it because the restraints are just so tight and the verify is so tight. I know we discussed it. They were definitely hoping they could, though I don't know if it's going to be able to happen. So it's probably going to be via press release or video or something along those lines. Kings Island gets Vekoma multi-launch and Vortex spot. I think that would be excellent.
Perfect spot.
Pandemonium or Nitro? Nitro.
Nitro.
Easily. Car or Devil? I go Devil personally.
Car. I go Car.
Right, Devil.
I'd say it's close, but Devil.
I'm taking Car.
Oh, easily. That's why I missed the Car.
Any tips for parking on Thursday next week at Great Adventure? Well, parking, just park as close as you can. But for the park itself, watch my vlog coming out tomorrow. Should give you pretty good tips.
Be careful.
Let's see.
Be careful. Yeah.
I do not know what manufacturer will be doing.
Yeah, no idea.
No, at least not an RMC.
No.
I think all COD trains will get new paint / design. I agree. Eventually, I think they will.
Good.
Let's see. You think that over Georgia's Ultra Surf means that they're not getting mock power splashes anymore? It's possible. It's kind of weird that they got that, considering they already have bought a mock power splash, but I guess we'll see. And the final question of the night, in your opinion, is Great Adventure the best Six Flags park?
Yes, because when you look at the totality, it's not exquisite like Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Of course, obviously you already know, Colin, how that park run it's perfectly ran. But you look at the totality with the coasters and the safari and everything. That's why I would say that Six Flags Great Adventure is the best park.
I think after next year it will be. Currently, I still kind of prefer Fiesta, but Great Adventure's ride lineup is so much further ahead of Fiesta.
Yeah.
Magic Mountain, it can't compete.
No.
But with that, go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's the best Six Flags park I've been to. I haven't been to very many, but I really wanted it to be Magic Mountain, but just with the way things shook up, I can't say that. But from the talk I hear, Fiesta Texas would probably get the slight edge, but there's potential at Great Adventure for sure.
Oh, we'll get it back. by next year. You get
But
back.
with that, that is going to conclude tonight's stream.
And,
I'd like to thank all of you for joining in and watching. I'm going to let you all plug your social medias real quick, although you can see everyone's handle underneath their name. But we'll go Brian, Ace, John, Tom. Go ahead and plug.
Brian from Brian Gray, LBI 0814 at Instagram.
Ace Ka from Facebook.
John from King of Zumanjaro on Instagram.
And you can follow that thing there, right there.
Other side.
That'll do. Oh, see, it's on that side on my screen, so it's here.
There you
It's
go.
here on there. All right, yeah, that one. Do that.
You know,
It's on Instagram.
Thank you all for the support on getting us to 9,000. Thank you, Lucan, for joining in nice and late, of course.
Congratulations.
But yeah, great stream. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the content. I'm really excited by the whole 2024 announcement coming up soon. All these teasers, very exciting. And I can't wait to see where it leads us. So thank you guys all for tuning in to tonight's stream. And I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good night, guys.